Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teenaccounts.
Hi from New York. It's a show that is counting down to the World Cup. We are 100 days away, and Nick has World Cup fever.
Man.
To the point that he was yelling at us about all of the research that he was doing last night just because he did several solo segments that he demanded. He's like, I'll do it. I'm like, all right, you chime in. I said, that's fine. But I am excited.
I can't wait.
For 100 days to World Cup. We've got Chris Richards coming up on the show. We have got highlights. We're counting down 100 greatest plays.
Yeah.
Brew, are you excited for the World Cup?
I'm hyped up.
Okay, hold on to that thought, Brew. 1 second. We also have the mascots of the World Cup. Maple the Moose, representing Canada. Maple the Moose.
I can't believe they keep doing it.
Zayu the Jaguar. And Clutch the Bald Eagle, representing the United States.
Wow.
Clutch, welcome. Oh.
I got you. Come on up. Hey, a little
This is just
side issues, but
fantastic.
Wow.
It's gonna
These
be great.
folks look fantastic.
This is going to be wonderful. Oh, man.
How many days?
God, bam.
100 days to the World Cup.
Bam.
Wow.
Just excellent.
I got to move a little bit. Triple banner.
That's hot.
And I will say this, KW.
Go ahead.
This is my favorite sporting event. Now, part of that is because it is special and it's every 4 years.
Sure.
But the fact that only 8 countries have ever won this thing, the fact that this is the world's, more people play this sport than any other, and more people
world's most
care about
popular
it
sport.
than any other, it is, I can't really put to words, because obviously soccer on a day-to-day basis is not my favorite sport, but this is my favorite sporting event. And the fact that Fox has it, that it's in the U.S., that maybe our boss is sitting there, maybe we go to a few games. Maybe we do the show.
There's
throw
one
them
at
to the
Gillette,
final. I don't know, it's
there's
down
one at
the
Jerry
street in New
World,
York.
the final is in New Jersey.
Kansas City's hosting Argentina. I don't know. I'm just saying.
France is in Gillette.
I can't wait. We've
Just
got
saying,
these sick
go see
mascots.
Mbappe.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
hope so.
First hour, first things first, coverage over the full 3 hours here. Today, U.S. Men's National Team Player of the Year, Chris Richards, joins the show. He talks about our group stage. He had some choice comments for Paraguay.
He's feisty.
Oh, I love him. Meanwhile, why did one head coach laugh at the Eagles when they talked about A.J. Brown? We discussed whether A.J. Brown should still be on the Eagles when the season starts. And finally, the latest edition of King of the Hill. Is SGA going to be?
Big changes.
There was a lot going on King of the Hill. Friendliest segment in all of sports alongside Chris Broussard.
A lot of movement.
Nick, too much movement on King of the Hill?
So here's the deal. King of the Hill coming up in a little under 90 minutes. I made an executive decision. Because unlike the tiers where there's a committee or Mahomes Mountain where there is a rich history of precedent, I decided that King of the Hill needed to be more fluid story than rich tapestry.
Player of the week?
What a
It's
change.
not
A little bit of player of the week.
a little more player of the week than Mahomes Mountain is, because best player in the league in the NBA is something somebody just sometimes holds for 4 years. It's just the guy. And so if I was just held to Jokic or Shea has to be number one, it loses a little bit of the flair.
Got to move.
So, and I opened myself up to it is a new person at number one, someone who's never been at number one, but has the pedigree of someone who could be atop the mountain. So,
I like it.
Yeah. It'll be
Joker
fun.
lost his spot, everybody, okay?
Joker lost his spot. I didn't love the flopping around yesterday. It didn't help.
You beat the Jazz by 3, you're out.
Exactly.
Just one of the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, first hour, first things first, coming your way. We are, of course, starting with the countdown to the World Cup. We are 100 days away. Starting on June 11th, it runs to July 19th, the final across the river. 48 teams, 104 matches, all on Fox and FS1. 40 in prime time. Here's what Team USA is looking at. Group stage schedule. June 12th, against Paraguay in LA. June 19th against the Aussies in Seattle. Then June 25th will be in LA, but we are still waiting to see who our opponent is going to be. We've got there's another tournament in Europe coming up, so we'll figure out
one of those 4 teams.
Slovakia, Kosovo, Turkey, or Romania. Nick, to see a lot to gain here, a lot of legacies for entire countries. To see who has the most to gain, you made a country's most to gain.
Right. So when we were in Miami, a year out from the World Cup is why we were there, we did the players with the most to gain.
Right.
And that list is mostly unchanged. So I didn't want to just run it back the same as before. So instead, and these were the players. You have maybe the best player in the world, Yamal, the 2 all-time legends, Messi trying to go back-to-back, Ronaldo trying to get his first, America's guy, and then 4 guys from the best player, arguably, on 4 teams that absolutely could win it. And so that's what it was. But
Is that when Alexi was jumping on you?
That is exactly right. That's when Alexi Lalas was jumping on me. I don't know which one of these he took the most issue with, but he took some issue, and we were all sweating through our suits. We are now in an air-conditioned studio. The 8 countries with the most to gain, with maybe a little historical update for any folks that are parachuting into the World Cup about why these teams have what they have to gain. Number 8, the country I grew up rooting for in this tournament, Italy. But they got to make the tournament first. So this is unbelievable. So they are one of the teams that is fighting to get in, like Turkey that we showed. So they have to beat Northern Ireland and then beat the winner of Wales, Bosnia, just to get in. They have won this tournament 4 times. My life growing up, it was Brazil, Germany, and Italy as the teams for this tournament. But now they've missed 2 cups in a row. They're on the cusp of missing another one. And so they have a ton to gain just by getting back in the World Cup for the first time in more than a decade. Number 7, Portugal. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo is banged up, but we expect him to play, and that would be his 6th World Cup. They co-host this event in 2030. They have made the semis twice in the nation's history. They've never won it, and pre-Cristiano Ronaldo, they were never really a threat to win it. This is almost assuredly his final tournament. See how Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal can do. Number 6. Germany, which, previously West Germany. They have been to 8 World Cup finals. Post-World War II until 2014, there were 16 World Cups played. They made the semis, meaning the Final 4 or better, in 12 of the 16. They made the final in 8 of the 16. They won 4 of the 16 from, again, 1954 until 2014. Since then, though, they have failed to get out of the group stage the last 2 tournaments. They are once again one of the favorites, but after being the defining European team of this tournament, the last 2 World Cups, massive disappointment. Try to bounce back this time. A very similar story to Germany, except on the Western Hemisphere side. Brazil. This is, to me, the soccer nation in the world. From 1958 until 2002, there were 12 World Cups. They won 5 of them. They had a stretch from 94 to 02 of going first, second, first. But since 02, they have only gotten out of the quarters, meaning the final 8, 1 time, and that actually led to a humiliating home defeat 7-1 to Germany in the semifinals. So after being the dominant team, Brew, for basically 50 years, from Pele, the original Ronaldo, everybody, the last 25 years, it's been disappointment. Go ahead.
Do you have an opinion on the decline, if you will?
I don't, because it would be such Monday morning quarterbacking by me, because if you checked either my betting history or my take history dating back to my college radio show, I think I picked Brazil every single World Cup.
You have?
Yeah, every year I'm like, well, obviously. Like, they just always feel like they have the most talent. And, again, my whole life growing up, that was Brazil versus the field. Brazil was basically the smart bet. And again, it's not like they're the situation Germany's in where they're not getting out of the group stage, but they are just getting knocked out early. And then the one time they went on a deep run was when they hosted the World Cup and Germany was up, I think, 6-0 at halftime. It was just horrifying. All right, number 4, Spain. They are the favorite. They have the best player. Along with Portugal, they host the next World Cup. The last time there was this much optimism surrounding a Spanish team in the World Cup, they were the defending champs. It was the final tournament for their golden generation in 2014, and they lost in mortifying fashion in the group stage to not get out. This Spanish team should win. They are the Vegas favorite and deserving Vegas favorite. But again, the last time they were in that position, they did not even make it to the knockout round. They're at number 4. Number 3, the defending champ Argentina. The only back-to-back champions in this tournament's history is Italy pre-World War II and Brazil with Pele. They would officially, in my opinion, if they were to win it, take the mantle from Brazil of the Western Hemisphere's soccer nation. North America, South America. Well, I mean, they would have 2 with Maradona, 2 with Messi.
Yeah.
Brazil is in this down stretch. Like they would have that real validity, and going back-to-back in this tournament, like I said, I mean, it hasn't been done in 60 years.
Messi would increase his GOAT lead like you wouldn't believe.
No, it would be, I think it would, here's a take on the fly.
Take on the fly.
I think there's an argument that to this day, the world's most famous athlete is Michael Jordan, living. Like, I think there's a take that he is still I think that if they were to do this, Messi would undeniably become the most famous athlete in the world.
That is a take.
No, I'm not setting up most to lose.
Think of what is being set up right now.
This is all
Just say it's all.
Absolutely. We know what's coming.
Like 3 in a row now. I got the World Cup.
Number 2, England. So nothing but disappointment in major tournaments aside from the 1966 World Cup. This is their World Cup history is just tattered with gut-wrenching, heartbreaking losses for a team that multiple times has had enough talent to win it, but you could argue this is their most talented team. Our friends at DraftKings have them with either the second or the third best odds to win the entire tournament. They have the second most to gain, but no one has more to gain, and I don't mean to be a homer, than the United States of America and what that win would mean for soccer. Forget the fact that if within 6 months we peel off a gold medal in hockey and the World Cup, which are not either one of our main sports, but since World War II, we've gotten out of the group stage just 5 times. We've only made the quarterfinals 1 time. However, there is no greater, and this applies to Mexico and Canada as well in this tournament, there is no greater home field advantage than home field in the World Cup. There have been 22 World Cups held. 13 times the host nation has made at least the semis. 6 times the host nation has won the entire thing. England's only win ever, they were hosting. Sweden's only final ever, they were hosting. Chile and South Korea's only semifinal ever, they were hosting. Switzerland, Mexico, and Russia's best finish ever, they were hosting.
Interesting.
There is a real edge. And the U.S. for a time, its best finish ever was when it was hosting in 94. They then trumped it in 02. There is a real edge. I don't know if it's the crowd. I don't know if it's officiating. I don't know what it is to being the host nation. The U.S., while it's sharing it, obviously, the final and the final games are in the United States. And what it would mean for worldwide soccer and soccer in the U.S. if they were to win, they have the most to gain.
Great most to gain.
Well done. I love the energy.
I love
the
this
excitement.
tournament, man.
It would be like for the finals if he's like, SGA could be the best ever. 4 times 30 points a game. All right, so, but that was good, Nick. And look, we're not expected to win it, but once upon a time, there was the miracle on ice. I won't go with what we just did in hockey because we weren't as big of underdogs as our soccer team, but we'll see. Maybe we can get it done. All right, I'm going to start off with a question for you because you've got the top 6, almost all the top 6 or 7 teams in the world in there, except France. So why isn't France in there?
So I thought about that, and they were probably the team that could have replaced Italy. I felt like Italy just like not making the tournament is so jarring. France has won 2 in the last 30 years with 2 different generations, if you will, of players. Like they had the Zinedine Zidane team with the famous headbutt. They obviously had Mbappe's run a few, a couple World Cup, 2 World Cups ago. So it doesn't feel like it would be like they are in a drought, and it also doesn't feel like this would be dynastic, so to speak. And so that's now maybe it could be. I mean, and by the way, they definitively can win it.
Oh, yeah,
and they are one
absolutely.
of the, they have a legitimate claim that they, this century, have been Europe's premier team.
Yeah.
Since Germany has, as I described, fallen off a bit, Croatia, oddly, has been very good in this tournament, but is not up to that level, and England's never done well in this tournament. It's probably them or Spain, but go ahead.
My addition is Senegal.
Wow.
All right, I have a soft spot in my heart for Senegal. I spent some time over there working on a story about basketball over there a couple decades ago. So, but Nick, they're
Senegal's
obviously
12.
a long shot, right?
That.
They're 12th in the country in the latest in the world.
Yes.
I'm sorry, in the latest FIFA rankings. And Morocco finished 4th in 2022. Yes. They just beat Morocco in the African Cup of Nations tournament. So they are like, for any of the long shots, and you throw in the United States in that, if they win it, obviously they got a ton to gain. But I feel like Senegal, because again, right, 12th, coming off the big win against Morocco, and they've been in the last 3 World Cups. They've only been in 4, but their last 3 ones. So soccer's on the uptick there. I feel like I wouldn't say have a great chance to win it. They're in France, and Norway is in their group, so that's going to be tough. But I think they got more of a chance than most of the long shots. So I think Senegal would have
this what kind of dovetails into mine, and I think it's hard for us to maybe wrap our heads around it because we have been trained on the Vince Lombardi. Winning isn't,
everything. It's
the only thing.
Well, we've been trained on it. We remember.
We've been. I need to be updated on it. Vince Lombardi.
It's been drilled into my head. What is it again?
Yeah. If France wins and England gets close, that's still a win for England.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I disagree on the England. I would say yes, but if Norway gets to the semifinals, that's an amazing run.
There's wins in here.
Yes.
A lot of like Chicago Bears types teams in here. Absolutely. Hey, you didn't get to the final. Like a lot of times, if you get to the finals and lose, all of a sudden your season didn't even matter.
No, hold on. Can I say something about Senegal before you go? I just want to add to Bruce's point. So Ghana was kind of carrying the torch as the best African nation in this tournament. Just African nation in general, I would argue. Because Ghana had real success, and they had surpassed Egypt or Saudi Arabia or any of the other countries that have made the tournament in the past. Senegal, an African nation winning this tournament, I think would have a similar effect as the United States winning. As far as what it would mean for a shake of who can win it. You know what I mean? Because this understandably has been a tournament that Europe and South America take turns in winning, because those are the 2 continents where the best soccer players have come from forever, to the most historic soccer nations. But we see now a ton of the best players in Europe are African born, who are naturalized into European teams, European countries. So I think an African nation winning it, and Senegal's got as good of a shot as anybody to be huge. But go ahead.
Before I give my answer, I just want to put some stakes in the ground.
Oh my!
Because I know there's going to be a bit of a land grab here as we go through the World Cup. Oh, this is my team. This is my guy.
Team.
I'm not stealing your team. I'm just saying.
You know who my team is.
I don't know your team.
Okay. Well,
is it France? Is it France?
Yes.
He just said it.
It's in the document. I put France. You didn't have France. I put France in there as my pick.
Go ahead.
I like Dembele and I like Mbappe a lot, but I will give you the nod to France since they are also sponsored by Jordan and you have a relationship.
And Broussard is a French name.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Okay, that's...
Broussard is like Smith
like
in
France, right.
Okay, so I need a new powerhouse team. I might go with Spain then.
Well, whoever,
Jamal is very similar.
Spain's
like
a
a young,
really going out
a
on the
young
limb.
That's
break.
fine.
No, it's a powerhouse
Spain,
team.
yeah, it's
but
a
this
powerhouse.
is my underdog team.
Oh, I was going to say, I assume you're doing your powerhouse team here.
No, I'm not doing my powerhouse. I'm doing my
Smart.
underdog team.
Smart.
If you remember, a Weird and Wonderful back in November, and I said, you know what? This is my squad. Curacao.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And again, Curacao is not going to win.
No, but Curacao
everything.
making it out of the group stage would be unreal.
If they can win 2 games, it would be marvelous. They're in Group E with Germany, tough, ranked 10th. That's Curacao. Ivory Coast is ranked 37th. Ecuador is ranked 23rd. They're ranked 81.
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
Here's their profile. They are the smallest country ever to reach the World Cup by population and land area.
I like that one, by land area.
They did go unbeaten in CONCACAF. They had some big victories, and they're playing in their first ever World Cup. So if Curacao can get a few wins, if you're looking to root for an underdog,
That'd be huge.
join me. Join Team Curacao.
And let me just add one other note.
Also, I can get there quickly, you know?
Yeah, and getting out of the group stage this year is different. Because you mentioned, Brew, I think for Senegal, how it has 2 very good teams in its group. But some third-place teams will make it out this year. Because there's 12 groups of 4, so 48 teams, and 32 make it. So top 2 in every group, plus the best third-place teams from every group, or 8 of the best third-place teams will make it. So you could come in third and still make it out depending on how you do. So there will be some Cinderellas that make it to the knockout.
All right, you can't have rainbows without a little bit of rain. It's time now, unfortunately, for the most to lose.
But again, it's all countries. So Michael Jordan
Is it?
It is. I hand to God, it's all countries. You're going to see. Number 5 is Italy for all the reasons I said before. They got to make the tournament. If they don't make the tournament, if Italy misses 3 straight World Cups, and this field is 48, like you just said, no disrespect to Curacao. But Curacao made the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I understand
time to focus on the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah. And our guy passed.
And you know the manager?
What?
Posada.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Number 4, us. You just got to, at a minimum, must make the knockout round. You're hosting.
Yes.
You got a great draw as far as your group with no team ranked in the top 25 other than you and your group. Minimum threshold is make it out of the group stage. Number 3. My squad, Brazil. Another disappointing World Cup and starting to feel a little Cowboysy. Great brand. Once upon a time, the dominant force. People like me, it's like I grew up rooting for him. Are you Brazilian? No. Had you been there? No. Do you know? No. But Ronaldo had the sickest Nike commercial ever, and I loved him. And then Ronaldinho. Now, don't reveal it, because Brew's going to think, he knows, because number 2 on most to lose is always the same guy.
But it's always countries.
But this is countries.
Yeah.
The country with the second most to lose. Jordan.
Fair.
Listen, everyone is rooting for you. You are a huge underdog. You're in Argentina's group in one of the toughest draws imaginable. Just don't get embarrassed. Just don't get beat up, Jordan. You have the second most to lose. And number 1, Spain. Because you're hosting next year. You're the favorite. The last time you were the favorite, you got mortified in the group stage. You have a stacked roster. Even though you won in 2010, people thought of that Spanish kind of era of soccer a little underachieving, golden generation. You had and at least underachieving in the World Cup, only winning the 1. And now you're the favorites. You have Yamal. I feel like it is semifinal or bust for Spain. And anything short of that is going to be a massive disappointment. That's the most to lose.
Excellent job. See, Jordan wasn't on there.
Yeah, I told you.
Nervous about Michael Jordan being on there. No. 100 days to the World Cup. We've got highlights coming up. We've got the mascots. We've got an interview with defenseman Chris Richards.
Yes.
The top of the hour. 100 days to the World Cup.
This is great.
And more First Things First on FS1 and the Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM.
I got you.
There you go. Oh, I have a
Always
feather.
the gentleman.
Yeah.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're not just looking for a place to live, you're searching for the one. That's where Realtor.com comes in. Like any good matchmaker, they know exactly where to look. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, you could find your perfect match today. Ranch style with a pool, barn dominium with an in-law suite? Realtor.com's got 'em. Modern craftsman with a big yard and a treehouse out back? Realtor.com will have you saying, yep, that's the one. No more swiping. It's time to start finding. Download the Realtor.com app today, cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pro's #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
Check out our podcast. Giannis just told me we have the best podcast in the world. Wow. Now, I don't know if that was statistically based or just her opinion.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Also, our YouTube channel has 1 billion views total. And right now, we're on the path to, did you see we're almost at 2 billion, Giannis said?
We're not almost, but we're more than halfway there.
Exactly. I would consider
Al,
that.
I've learned on this show, you can literally say anything. True or
Afternoon
not.
headlines.
Whatever.
Sponsored by Hilton Garden Inn. Hilton for this day. Al Harrington here. Thanks for joining us again now. Giannis returned after he missed 5 weeks with his calf injury. Tatum was out. Jaylen Brown was out. Cato was out. Celtics win by 27. Giannis had 19 and 11 in 25 minutes. Here he was after the game.
Right now, to be honest with you, I'm just happy that I'm out there. Now I've dealt with 3 injuries this year, and I'm just happy that I'm doing what I love. Obviously, I think we got 24 games left. It's 24 finals. We just got to take it a game at a time.
Brew, I'm almost scared to ask. What did you make of Giannis's return?
Well, look, I believe what Giannis said. Like, there is an element of just loving the play. He knows their team's not going to do anything. They might make the play-in, maybe, probably won't make the playoffs. But I think he really is sincere about I'm out there having fun doing what I love to do. So I think that was sincere. I also want to applaud him because a lot of people are saying, why is he even coming back?
Right. Well, I thought you were going to be far more caustic.
No, because, look, we can't sit on here as media and rip guys for load managing or not playing right when they're healthy. This guy's healthy.
Right.
And look, the fans still paid their money. They still go to the game, even though they know their team isn't going to be, anything in the postseason. And so I do think if a player's healthy, he should play.
Right.
And so I applaud Giannis for going out there and playing. I also think, look, we know a few months ago he had the issue with the fans. He kind of, booed them when they were booing him. We know how much he loves the fans in Milwaukee, how much he loves the franchise. I hope this should be kind of his swan song to those fans. I'm going to give it my all for the next month or two, whatever is left in the regular season. And this should be his last run in Milwaukee, though. For them, too. He should want to go somewhere else to play in meaningful games the rest of his career. And the Bucks, it's time to move on. They have arguably the best player in the world, and they're still not any good. And so they should trade him for a young star, some draft picks, and move on. So this should be kind of his last hurrah there in Milwaukee. I applaud him. Obviously, you hope he doesn't get injured.
Yep.
But, I'm with Giannis on this.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that he has been an unbelievable global ambassador for the game of basketball, not just the NBA. And to the point of he hasn't ever adapted to the whole load management thing. Right. Whenever he's available, he's out there playing and he's laying it all out on the line, giving everything for his organization, his team, the fans, and even for his family. So, with that being said, I was not shocked and I'm not shocked that he decided to come back. What I am a little shocked about is the way his team kind of responded, right?
Oh, that's interesting.
With him coming back, and this might be the last hurrah, and this might be the last time you play with a player at that level of talent. You would think that they would have played just a little bit better, right?
And to lose Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, to lose to Boston with their best player out and lose by that many points. I think it just kind of shows that there's probably a lot of wear and tear on that team. You know, I think they've been through a lot with him being in and out of the lineup, probably all the trade talk, different things like that. It looks a little bit like a team that's probably maybe checked out a little bit.
And so I think that's a great
Like
take.
they ready to move on.
Maybe they're ready to move on.
Well, or maybe that the other players on the roster are not as, just dead set on fighting our way into the play-in, that it feels like it's a lost, dead season. And the shame of it for Milwaukee is if this is the swan song in the end. A week ago, they were right there for the 10. A week ago.
Yeah. And Hornets.
You know what? The Hornets have been so good for 2 months now. Mm-hmm. I'm putting them almost in a different category. I know they're 10, but a week ago, Atlanta hadn't started its 3-game winning streak, and Milwaukee hadn't started its 3-game losing streak. And right now, they're 3 losses back of Atlanta, I think. And if they could, Milwaukee had a couple grisly losses right before Giannis came back, when everyone knew he was coming back.
Yeah.
And then to Al's point, I totally agree that credit to Joe Mazzulla, credit to what they built in Boston, which almost seems to be star player impervious. Like, no Jason Tatum, we're the 2 seed. No Jaylen Brown, we win by 30.
They're 6-1 without Jaylen.
Right, and they hit 23s last night. They're going to do that. So maybe you were going to lose no matter what when Boston shoots that way. But I don't think it is a fait accompli that Giannis is gone. I think he should be. I think what's best for Milwaukee is that he leave, and I think what's best for Giannis is that he leave. But Milwaukee is not going to pull the trigger without Giannis demanding it. I don't think they will. And Giannis has shown a lot, given us real evidence, he might not flat out demand it.
I don't think he's going to.
And so,
right, I would think he's not either.
And so the reason I mention that is I do think these last 24 games are important. Because I think that if Giannis is anywhere on the fence and they show a pulse in these, if they were to fight their way into the play-in, again, Brew, I think it might be foolish for him to stay.
Yeah.
But that might be enough for him to be like, I'll give it another year.
Right.
But if they look like this the rest of the way, Al, I think that Giannis's hand will almost be forced. Like, there's no way for me to compete here.
Right. I think it's something to be said, for him, like playing with one organization his whole career. And
Yeah,
I think
that's what he
means
clearly
a lot.
feels.
That means something to him. You know what I'm saying? There's like a level of loyalty in him that is like showing through during this time, right? Because most stars would have been kicking and screaming, saying, "Get me out of here." Yep. Especially, as soon as they made the Dame Lillard trade, you know what I'm saying? Right. That would have been the first time you would have probably heard something. But I think for him, like, he kind of trusts this organization. I think he really loves this city. He won a championship there. I think his family is obviously very comfortable there. Because, I think most guys be trying to get the heck out of Milwaukee at a drop of a hat if they had the opportunity. But for him, it seems like he wants to be there. So to your point, I think that if they can kind of corral and put together some games and get into that play-in game, maybe win a game, maybe it will go a long way, and maybe, to your point, keep him kind of down and maybe see what moves they can make this summer.
If he stays there, you can't kill him. Because obviously it's just like, hey, he's loyal, like you said, to his franchise, a small market franchise at that. Okay. But it would be a huge mistake. It reminds me of Kevin Garnett.
Yes.
Remember, he didn't want to leave Minnesota.
Right.
Like, he loved Minnesota. They had Paul Pierce, ready, and Ray Allen got there, and he still was apprehensive about going to Boston. He goes there, obviously wins the championship, and he's now has said, many times he wishes he had been in that situation earlier. Mm-hmm. So Giannis is, 31?
Is 32, maybe.
I know he's played 13 years, right?
He's played a long time.
But guys are playing longer today. He looks like he's got many great years left. He should be playing in meaningful games. And I bet, Al, if he goes to a Houston or, some team where they can compete for the championship every year, he's not going to regret it. He's going to.
I think the only difference is that he won a championship. That's all.
No, He does have that. You can't ever take that from him.
And I agree with you. Like, best option 1, stay in Milwaukee forever, contend for championships there. That's not going to happen. Right. Best option 2, I think, go somewhere else, contend for championships there. But the worst option, I believe, is go somewhere else bad luck, bad injuries, bad whatever, and still not contend for championship.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is the
Which could happen.
Which
He's had
injuries. Teammates can have injuries. So like that is it is not the ideal, but if Giannis isn't the only place where he can play and not win a championship the rest of the way and it not feel like that part of his career was, wasted is Milwaukee.
Yeah.
If he leaves and 7 years from now it's like, oh, he only won the one title, that feels less is something than if he just stays in Milwaukee the whole time.
Atlanta, Utah, Orlando, and Phoenix all at home for the Bucks coming up. The win over the Bucks means the Celtics have won 7 of their last 8, currently in second place, 5 behind the Pistons, all without Tatum, who released a new YouTube video about his journey back from his Achilles tear. Take a listen.
Calf looks fantastic. I mean, he's strong, his position's great, his tension's good. You're as good as anyone has ever been. So, 6 weeks, I'm confident you're going to go back and beat Jason Tatum the way you were before. You're a young guy, your calf looks great.
Can't come back to be no role player, Doc.
Okay. Chances Tatum's return, if he returns, hurts the Celtics' chemistry is the official question. Also, your reaction to the role player comment.
Let me do it in reverse order, if I may. Because I think if people just read this and they don't know the timing of it, it could be disarming. Or if they think Jason Tatum said that recently, I ain't coming back to be no role player, that could be like, oh, is he not going to be okay with the fact that when he comes back, he's not going to be 100% yet. That's not how I read this at all. This is very fresh after the surgery saying, we need to do everything we can do so whenever I am 100%, I am the same player I was before the injury, a la Kevin Durant, and I think that's totally reasonable and exactly how you should feel. To answer your question, chance Tatum's return hurts Celtics chemistry? I think it might, and I do not think that matters at all. Right now, we've become something of a motor racing show.
Oh, yeah.
They were big in Daytona, the Indy 500. The Celtics right now, to me, are a car near the front of the pack. It's called the Daytona 500. Mm-hmm. And the pit crew has radioed the driver, and he's like, hey, that right front tire is going to blow. And he's like, well, if I pit, I'm not going to be at the front of the pack anymore. It's like, got it. But if you don't, you have no chance of winning the race. So you got to pit, let us fix it, and then see if you can make up the ground. That's Tatum coming. The Celtics, as presently constituted, are a very good, team that are overachieving. I'm not going to call them a cute team like you. But they have no chance of winning the championship. So the rocky stuff that might come with the first few weeks with Tatum back is the tax on giving yourself a chance to win the championship. And I do think the Celtics are a championships-only organization, so I don't really care if for a few weeks they play 500 basketball while Tatum's getting acclimated. It gives them a chance to be in the mix to actually win the title.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, he is no role player. Let's just start there, right? He's obviously a superb talent, generational kind of talent. What's unique about their team is that they've been able to survive all this time with 2 number ones. And what I'm so happy about is that the fact that Jalen has been able to show the world that he is a number one. And he should be in every discussion for MVP talk. I don't care where we at in the country or the world, he's been playing at that level, right? This team is really unique from the standpoint that their role players have been playing like above average, right? Yeah. And that's maybe cute, right? But that's what makes them like special this year. Bringing Tatum back will allow those guys to kind of almost settle back in their role a little bit. But then if Tatum is lagging, coach can put him on the bench, sit him down, tell him, but those guys can get back out there and continue to play at the level that they've been playing at. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So I feel like if he comes back, he doesn't hurt the chemistry. He just gives them an opportunity to maybe make a special run in these playoffs. But he will not be himself. It's just not enough games. Whenever you come back from major injuries, I came back from ACL, back surgeries, different things like that. It takes about a year to get your confidence back. And I can imagine off an Achilles, when that's how you're driving and every move comes off of that Achilles, it's going to take him some time. Those workouts, I'm watching his YouTube stuff, and that stuff is like maybe 60, 70% speed. He's not going all out. So that's going to take him some time to get back. So he'll need that time anyway. And I feel like these role players will allow him to do that because they're playing at such a high level.
No, that's an interesting perspective. Look, I agree with what both of you are saying. They have nothing to lose. Right. They've won a championship. They've been to 2 of the last 3 finals. He's been to 6 conference championships at least. Like, when you've done that, it's championship or bust.
That's it.
So going to the conference finals without Tatum, that's a nice story, but that's not going to satisfy people in Boston. So bringing him back just gives you a legitimate chance, we think, right, of maybe winning the championship, which you have none without him. Now, unfortunately for him, when he comes back, assuming he comes back this year, the expectations are going to go to championship. They're already the favorites in the East, right, based on people thinking he's coming back.
Right.
So it's going to put pressure on him that's probably not fair, because most people aren't going to look at it like you're looking at it, Al. Like, at most, you can only expect him to be 75% or whatever. They're going to look at it, Jason Tatum's back, yeah, and if they don't get to the finals or maybe the conference finals, people are going to maybe be critical of him again, unfortunately. I think it'll be unfair. But here's where, like, if you look at the Celtics, their system is the same. The players are different. So that's no Al Horford there. Drew Holiday is gone. Porzingis is gone. So they got to all adjust to each other. But the system's the same. Defend your butt off and shoot threes. It's 5 out for the most part. So that'll be he's used to that. But here's the thing. Like you said, Al, everybody's moved up, including Jalen. Jalen will be fine. His points will come down a little. He'll average 25, 26, whatever, instead of 29. Look, Derek White, and we all have respect for him and how good he is. He has moved into that second guy. He's their second leading scorer. He's shooting 39%. That's a career low. He's 44 for his career. He's shooting 33% from 3. That's his worst in years.
He'll be better.
Right. So he's had to go up, and he's not fully equipped to be a number 2 guy.
Right.
So now he moves back into his comfortable role. Pritchard, they smartly, a few weeks ago, they put him on the bench now. Yeah. So I don't think it really will affect him as much, because assume Tatum's going to start, Pritchard can stay doing what he does. So
back.
I think that was smart to move him. I don't know if they were thinking about Tatum with that.
I think they were.
But yeah, it makes sense. And so I think they'll be able to adjust after maybe a few rocky games.
Also, happy birthday, Jason Tatum. Today's his birthday.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. If you're hearing me, I'm going to assume you're awake. And if you aren't, because while you're snoozing, someone else might be finding your dream home. That's where Realtor.com comes in. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, that's a lot of chances to find the place you've been dreaming of. Whether you're searching for a 2-story mid-century with a pool or a little extra space with a spa-inspired bathroom, Realtor.com can help you find it today. So quit hitting that snooze button. Realtor.com isn't sleeping on finding your dream home, and neither should you. Download the Realtor.com app today, cause you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2024 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. February 2024 through January 2025.
All right, 35 most interesting rumors heard at the Combine. Matthew Berry said one team that definitely needs a wide receiver is Buffalo. Issues their cap space, so it depends on cost. But 2 names I heard from them were either Rashid Shaheed or Mike Evans. That's from Matthew Berry verbatim.
And this made Wilds cry.
It did make me cry. I'm a celebrity.
Put the camera on him. He's crying right now.
How should Josh feel about this? Josh Allen, that is.
Great. I mean, unless they're going to get a better receiver out there. But Josh Allen should be telling them privately, you don't want to upset your receivers, get me a #1. Get me a #1. And Mike Evans obviously is a #1. Unless you think Evans at 32, I think he is not going to be the same guy. But I think he'd be great in Buffalo. I think he's just what the doctor ordered there. Shaheed is
not a number one.
No,
but a
that's the thing.
player.
He would be good there. I think he's probably a slightly better, maybe version of than Khalil Shakir. Obviously brings the punt, the kick return aspect of it. Receivers, I think they're probably the same level.
But they're they're just different in that
right.
Shaheed does almost all his damage on deep passes.
Yes.
And
so
Shakir does most of it on, passes caught at the line of scrimmage after.
So they could be a decent tandem, but I would rather Evans. I think that's perfect for them, but what's not to like about that?
I'll go very quickly so that Wiles can go. I don't think there's any bigger Rashid Shaheed fan in the media than me. I loved the trade for Seattle. I think he's awesome.
Worked out.
He is also not what Buffalo needs. Like, he would help any team.
He would help, but he's
what Buffalo needs is a possession receiver. What they haven't had since Diggs left, to be totally honest. And so I do think Mike Evans is a great fit there. A guy that you can, Keenan Allen type, you know what I mean, that you can rely on 3rd and 7, that he's going to run the right route and get open. Shaheed's more of an explosive big play guy. But Kevin Wildes, who's the guy that we have to thank for free agency?
Who?
Baseball player, Curt Flood.
Oh, Curt Flood, of course.
Kevin Wildes can't stand, he wishes there was no free agency.
No, I love free agency, but as you know, I have my finger on the pulse of everything that's going on in media.
Yeah.
And Mike Evans' agent said, you know what we're looking at? All 32 teams. I'm like, you are? Really? You're looking at what the Saints are up to, Mike Evans' agent? You're looking to see what the Raiders are going to look like with Mendoza? I think this whole thing, and then later on it was reported, like, oh, you know what we're looking for? A championship, a great coach, a great quarterback, a team to win. Okay, so you went from all 32, so now we got the list whittled down. If Mike Evans leaves Tampa Bay, I will cook this into a donut and eat it.
Wow!
You think there's no chance?
There is zero chance. There is zero chance that Mike Evans, who loves the Bucs, who won a championship with the Bucs, who is going to be have a statue outside the stadiums if the Bucs do statue, that he leaves the Bucs. It's all this kind of posturing. If you say you're leaving, you're looking at all 32 teams.
You think it's just posturing for money?
Well, the Bucs better give up the Bucs. If the Bucs don't give up the Bucs, he could go to a contender.
Yes, the Bucs should compensate Mike Evans for all of his work and a little bonus, a little bit of team legend bonus.
To stay, but now I want to see.
I'm going to make this into a donut.
You wouldn't want to see him in Buffalo with Josh Allen. I think that'd be fascinating.
I think it would be horrible. And I don't even like the Bucs.
On December 12th, Disney Plus invites you to go behind the scenes with Taylor Swift in an exclusive 6-episode docuseries.
I wanted to give something to the fans that they didn't expect. The only thing left is to close the book.
The end of an era. And don't miss Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour, the final show, featuring for the first time the Tortured Poets Department. Streaming December 12th, only on Disney Plus.
Live from New York is a show that is celebrating 100 days until the World Cup. It's the second hour of First Things First. Today, we're making our World Cup picks, even though Brew is picking France and I wanted to pick France.
Too late,
so I'll be in a tough spot. Meanwhile, who's the new king of the hill? A lot of action in the NBA, a lot of movement.
Too much action for my taste. But
he may have overcorrected a little bit. A little bit.
Literally, it was
fine. But right now,
these bags under my eyes.
What's that
doing
from?
most to gain and King of the Hill, grinding
playing
tape,
poker till late night.
Well, that too.
Joining us now live from London, he's the U.S. Men's National Player of the Year, star defenseman Chris Richards. Chris, thanks for joining us. We're 100 days out from the World Cup. This is sort of a silly question. How do you prepare 100 days out? Are you just locked in on Crystal Palace, or are there sort of benchmarks for you to do as you prepare for your first game?
Yeah, you kind of try to take it one game at a time. I still have the rest of my season here at Crystal Palace, and we still have a lot to play for. But I think everybody's North Star is this World Cup that's coming up in a few days. So I'm super excited for it. But right now, I'm just trying to take it one game at a time, one training at a time.
So one of the cool things about the World Cup or the Olympics is sports that people, a lot of people that watch our show, maybe their favorite is the NFL or the NBA, but they get to know athletes, whether it's the U.S. men's national hockey team or soccer team this time of year in their stories. So I want you to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself in this regard. So you're a kid from Alabama whose dad was a pro basketball player, over throughout Europe, I think, and you're also you're a big guy. So I would imagine growing up, a lot of people assumed you're from Birmingham, you might play football, American football, you might play basketball. How did you go from, a kid born in Birmingham to Germany and now to Crystal Palace in England as a professional soccer player? What was that journey?
Yeah, I played every sport growing up, but I primarily played basketball and soccer until I was about 16 years old. And, I was, believe it or not, I was, always kind of a smaller kid. I didn't really hit my growth spurt until the year I moved away from home. So the year I quit basketball, that summer, I grew like 7 inches.
Wow.
And so my dad came to see me and he was like, "Oh, like, you sure you don't want to keep playing basketball?" But my decision was already made. But I went to Hoover High School, so it's very much football is powerhouse. And so for some reason I decided to not play, but I loved going to high school football. I loved watching college football. I'm an Alabama fan, Roll Tide. But I had a unique journey. Not many people from Birmingham make it to where I am right now. So yeah. I'm really glad, and I'm really thankful for how I got there.
You may not know the answer to this, but has your success and fame as a soccer player, has that led to any more popularity of soccer in Birmingham, or maybe more young kids playing it?
Yeah, selfishly, I want to say yeah. I don't know if it's just me, but I think now that soccer is becoming a lot more mainstream back home, especially with the World Cup coming, it's really important for me that I also continue to grow the game. I think one of my kind of mantras I live by is, aspire to inspire. So I want to be the reason why a kid, from Birmingham or anywhere around the world, but I guess specifically in Birmingham, picks up a soccer ball. And so, for me, it's nice to go back home and see more kids playing soccer, more people speaking about soccer. So if you want to attribute it to me, then so be it. But I think it's just kind of the culture that we're living in.
All right, so you guys open up with Paraguay on June 12th. All right, last time you played them in a friendly, it ended in a bench clearing brawl. All right, and then you got Australia a week later. And we know when you played them in October, it got chippy. You actually said they're lucky it was a friendly. So, this is there bad blood between you guys and these nations, or, what should we expect in these matchups?
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't get the full quote on that.
I was going to say, I had the full quote. I had the full quote, Drew, ready to go, put you on the spot. But it was worse, but it was good. Oh, here we go.
No, but that's the thing, though. This is something I'm passionate about. And, I think it makes it even more passionate whenever you have that USA on your chest. So for me, you can call it bad blood, but every team we go out there and play against, we want to beat and want to beat badly. So, if they want to bring a fight to us, so be it. But I think that's one of the things that makes us American is that we're not afraid of any fights. So, again, that's kind of the mentality that we've adopted over the last few years, and especially now playing on home soil, I feel like we have a lot more to play for. So again, it's just, you can call it bad blood, but I think every team we play is a rivalry. We want to beat every team, and we want to make a statement while doing it.
So
let's go. I like it. Yes.
Is there any carryover strategically from playing Australia and Paraguay now that they're also in the group stage? You're like, oh, they did this, or is it too much change? Is there anything you can take away from those friendlies?
It's kind of hard because, in friendlies, sometimes, teams might not want to show their full face. So, you tend not to think too much about the players, but you tend to think about kind of how they play and the style that they play in. Again, the World Cup, everything's even more elevated. So, I guess tensions are going to be higher, pressure is going to be higher. So, you tend not to think too much on the friendlies, but it does give us some sort of comfortability knowing that we have played them within the last 6 or so months. So So again, I think once you get to the World Cup, it's a bit different. But overall, I think it gives us, like I said, a bit of comfort knowing that we played these teams.
I'm interested in something you alluded to in your first answer, which is because you're in the EPL and so many of the best players in the English Premier League are on their nation's World Cup rosters. And it is a very unique, it happens every 4 years, but thing in sports where it's the toughest league in the world. Winning that championship is some would argue the most prestigious regular season, title across all sports in the world. But all the best players in the league know that here in a couple months, something far greater and bigger is taking place. And it's not like it's only a couple of you guys going to the World Cup. It's the vast majority of the best players. So I know this is your first experience being, involved in both in the league and the World Cup. But how does that impact these next couple months of EPL play where guys, nobody wants to get dinged up right before they're playing for their country, but also your team is paying you. Like, it's such a unique thing to your sport. How does that work?
Yeah, like you said, it's unique, and it's something that I think I'll quickly find out, I think, like you said, nobody wants to get hurt, especially going into a World Cup that's right when the season ends. But, like I said, there is still a lot to play for. So I think it's finding that medium, I think it's almost when you don't go hard, that's when injuries start to happen. So me personally, I plan on going until the wheels fall off and then going a little bit more. Because like I said, this could be a career-defining year for me, and not just that, but it could also be a nation-defining year. Hopefully, winning a World Cup on home soil would be a beautiful thing, and that's what I plan on doing, and that's what I know our group of guys wants to do as well.
So you mentioned the home soil. I don't know how much you're familiar with, like the nitty-gritty history of the World Cup, but 13 of the 22 host nations have made at least the semis. There are 8 countries where their best finish ever was the year they hosted the World Cup. So what would you attribute that to? Is it a legitimate home field advantage of the crowd, of the energy? Is it the added, pressure in a good way of we're hosting, this is our moment? Like, why do you think it has been such a decided home field advantage for host nations?
I think pride, I think,
Pride.
You can talk about, fans and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's the World Cup and there's going to be fans from every country in the world there. So, and it's going to be majority split. So I think knowing that you're playing in front of the country that whose flag you're wearing, knowing that, you're playing for more than just yourself, I think it has to be pride. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I think, again, you can speak about quality of players, you can speak of fans, you can speak of, A through Z, but I think just knowing that you're playing at home, knowing that everybody's gonna be watching you, knowing that your family is gonna be there supporting you, knowing that the whole nation has your back, I think that's what it is.
So you're going to likely be playing against some of your Crystal Palace teammates. And obviously, as we saw earlier, you're not afraid to talk trash. So has the trash talking already started in the locker room?
Man, it has to. As soon as everybody saw the draws, we were texting. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think, one of our assistant coaches at Palace, he's used to play for Australia, and so I've given him a little bit since the draw came out. But regardless, it's all fun and games until we get to the World Cup, and then there's no teammates. It's. Right now, I'm enjoying all the banter, all the jokes, this and that. But like I said, once summer comes around and we're playing for our countries, then we know it's time to go.
I don't want to gloss over what we have in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You were our nation's team player of the year. What was your reaction when you heard that? And who was the first person you called to tell you had won it?
I was kind of stunned, to be fair. I feel like some people saw my reaction and think that I didn't think too much about it, but I think I was more stunned than anything. I feel like I had a good year, but I feel like I still have another level to go. I'm not content, I guess, with the year I had. I always want to keep doing more. So, for everybody to have voted for me to be Player of the Year, it meant a lot. Especially with the group of names that was on there before me, it really was really special to me. I remember calling my mom and My family, they were all nearby, so I told them all at once. It was great. It was amazing because, again, like you said, not many people think of Birmingham as this kind of soccer hotbed. And I guess with all the adversity, with all the stigmas, I think being able to come from Birmingham and being the first one from Birmingham to have won this award, it means a lot.
Well, thanks for your time, Chris. Best of luck. We'll see you in the friendly March 28th against Belgium, right? You're going to play that one? Excellent.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we're all rooting for you, the entire country. So best of luck, and go beat Tottenham for Crystal Palace.
Thanks, Chris.
In the
Thank
meantime.
you so much.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
100 days to the World Cup. Our coverage continues right here on FS1.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
The stage is set. The Desert Double on Saturday. Alex Pillow just keeps on winning everything, so he's going to try to win Phoenix here Saturday at 3. And then it's NASCAR, where Tyler Reddick is trying to win 4 in a row, bro. Holy cow. I think Newgarden could get a win here sometime. One of my guys.
Reddick is special.
What about Stingray Rob?
Stingray Roberts needs to finish a race.
Okay. Time now for the friendliest segment in all sports. Al Harrington is back. Giannis is back. The Lakers are winning. Şengün had 32 last night. It's a sea of good news. So let's find out who has it best in this week's edition of King of the Hill.
Thank you for the introduction, Kamal. Before we get to the Hill, I'm going to break the fourth wall.
Oh, some Trey Hendrickson news.
No, Trey Hendrickson, by the way, did bid farewell to the Bengals via IG. So we'll keep you updated on that story as your nation's #1 capital for Trey
Hendrickson news.
However, I have more important first things first news. So these butterflies on the screen.
Yes.
And the friendliest segment in sports TV. I've hated that branding since the moment Wilds did it. I've tried to have him get rid of it. And he has claimed it's good. He's claimed he likes it.
It's a bad boy.
And then all of a sudden, we have 16-year NBA veteran Al Harrington out here.
Yeah.
And Kevin Wilds feels the need to be like, hey, Al, I just want to explain. Here's why we do the butterflies. Don't judge us for it. Right. Like, here's the whole background. Al's totally confused. He doesn't know because KW deep down knows it's dumb.
I mean, the snow makes sense for Mahomes Mountain.
Yeah, that's what I've always said.
The butterflies, once you have to explain it to someone.
Exactly. That's what I said.
I thought you were going to go bad, boy.
Yeah, once upon a time, he also during this segment put on a leather jacket and a biker helmet and tried to pretend it's weird. Wow. Doesn't matter. Top 28 players in the league. Here's the thing. It's fluid list.
Fluid list. It's not. This is even more confusing.
Is fluid just a way of saying what?
Have you ever seen who's hot and who's not?
I want a reward since the last time we were on the air. I mean, the last time we did it a week ago. Bottom of it.
We need more volatility in the segment.
We got some volatility.
What's up, Dust? Oh, in the valley. Sorry. Injured. Steph off the mountain. Off the hill. Because he's been out so long and he's just getting reevaluated again. He can come back.
10 days.
Halliburton, AD, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie not coming back this year. You might notice, however, someone not injured and eligible, who was a week ago, who might be showing up on King of the Hill.
Oh, Giannis?
Nope, Giannis was on it last week. You'll see. You must not have noticed, Brew, because you were too busy ripping my mouth.
Bonus take.
7th row, a guy who's bordering on becoming injured and eligible, Denny Avdia. You miss another week of games, you're off the mountain, the hill, Denny. Karl Anthony Towns, just not a great, efficient week, even though the team's been winning. He drops a bit. Bam stays where he is. Chet, KW's guy. The defense is unimpeachable. The offense hasn't really gotten there. He's doing fine. He's a very good player. He's a good player. Good player on a really good team. Evan Mobley pops up. First Hornet on the hill.
We made it.
Brandon Miller.
Charlotte,
I think he's the best player on that team. I think Con Knippel might have the highest upside, maybe. His upside's pretty high. I think Brandon Miller is better than LaMelo Ball and the most reliable player on that team.
Fair.
And the Hornets have been a legit Very good team for 6 weeks.
I think so.
And
You mocked that draft of him, though. You didn't like the draft.
Oh, hold on a second.
Was that Jordan? I think that was Jordan's last draft.
Hold on a second here. I didn't mock the draft. This is a guy has
That was Jordan's.
That was Jordan's last.
Jordan did this. Jordan is basically on the hill.
Henderson take. And all of a sudden,
was that the Scoot draft?
Yes,
Yes,
it was
the
Wimby.
He loved Scoot Henderson.
I did like Scoot a lot. I'm not closing the book on Scoot.
I totally agree.
And Paolo made the hill after we said he missed it last week. He scored 36 against the Lakers.
Yeah, with like 24 against a normal team's defense, but still.
6th row. Devin Booker.
That's a good one.
Another guy, now he almost got off because of injury, but I read this morning they expect him back, I think, tonight.
Nice.
So he should be back. Joel Embiid is shocked. He got banged up. He's going to miss a little bit of time. A little oblique injury. He's been awesome, Brew. He's been awesome.
He can score. He still scores.
He
with
still
the best
scores,
ones.
and the team.
It is amazing. He could take time off like that and come back.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, he's the best shooting. I mean, his jump shot is.
So that's a unique thing. We have right now active in their primes the best passing big ever and the best shooting big ever, which is pretty undeniably, right?
If you call him just
I'm talking about Embiid. The true centers.
Yeah, you take like Durant
and Dirk out. Yeah,
Dirk out.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in phenomenal.
Keep going. Bron and Harden. Harden broke his hand, but he's fine. Şengün, I moved him up.
Thank you.
You demanded I moved him up. Jalen Duren. Really good player.
Yeah, really
Don't
have
good
to run
player.
plays for him.
No, and he can get you his 20 points and toughness and defense and rebounding. All right, top 15. Donovan Mitchell. Again, the missing time is tough for these guys. Jaylen Brown is totally unfair. I had him 3rd in MVP a week ago. When I see the Celtics win by 30 without you, I move you down.
That's not great.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
They're 6-1 without him.
A big part of my Jaylen Brown.
It's not helping his MVP.
A big part of my Jaylen Brown argument is he is carrying this team, and then he's not there, and they're fine. Be honest.
But he's sitting against the bad teams.
I get it. I'm just saying it's just what happened. I'm just telling you the truth.
A lot of volatility.
A lot of volatility. Kawhi Leonard stays where he is. Jamal Murray. How many did he have last night? 45?
45.
Something insane. They barely beat Utah. More on them later. And that's who's new to the Mountain Brew.
Wow.
Jason Tatum.
That's big time.
He's not even playing yet.
KW's buddy, Bill Simmons, just said as an aside, Sunday night, I think Tatum's coming back Friday. And I feel like Bill's pretty plugged into the Celtics. So I have penciled him in that I think by this time next week, Jason Tatum likely could be back. And
you got him awfully high.
Well, I have a little respect for what the man's accomplished. Maybe once he comes back and we see him, he drops a bit. But if I'm going to put him on the mountain, I feel like he deserves to be alongside his teammate Jaylen Brown. Top 10. Giannis back, but going to be he was back a little rusty. That's fine. Wemby. So here's the thing. Well, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save my Wemby discussion because I think there's no one to talk Wemby. Wemby drops a bit after I saw him in person at MSG. One minor concern that I will bring up in a bit. Kevin Durant. No, not too skinny.
Too tall.
Speaking of too tall and too skinny, Kevin Durant, who I think since our last mountain has scored 125 points. And listen, is the guy a leader? Probably not. Does he have questionable texting and tweeting habits? Sure seems like it. Is he just a bucket in every situation, no matter what? Yes, absolutely. And Maxi's just great. Great, maybe he's a touch strong. He's very, very, very good. And so much, I don't know how many people are watching the Sixers. He's so much fun because he just, every game, it's like, well, he's the fastest guy on the court every time, no matter what, no matter how many minutes he plays. Third row. I dropped Luka almost as a PR. Like, you know what? The last week was so bad for him from a public relations standpoint. You drop him. And I mostly blame JJ for that interaction, but it wasn't great. And the Lakers, nobody thinking that they can win, that they have any shot at winning a championship, even though they have Luka in his prime. Not great. I still believe he is clearly one of the 5 best players in the sport. But you're one of the 5 best players in the sport. This is about where you should be. Ant stays where he is. He's awesome. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks on this red-hot tear. He moves up. Row 2, Joker moves down just a touch. That team is 17-18 in the last 35. He's awesome. He's the best player in the league, but he's not just going to stay atop the mountain. Shea stays where he's at. And you know what? Rich Tapestry, fluid movement, team that's on a nice winning streak. He's the best player on the team by a lot, is on a nice run, not a nice winning streak. Cade Cunningham, atop the mountain, number 1 pick, MVP candidate.
Yeah,
the legitimate MVP candidate.
Love it.
The Pistons have the best, this is what I meant to say, Pistons have the best record in the whole league.
Yeah.
He's the only certified superstar on the team, and prior to Durant, he was the only all-star on the team. He's atop the
I
mountain.
think this is a great changeup.
Thank you, KW.
I think it was great.
I
Otherwise,
appreciate
we just sit there with Joker like we do the same King of the Hill for 5 years.
That's exactly how I feel.
That's the thing,
now
it's great.
Al's going to tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, now after hearing your explanations, maybe I might.
No, it's okay. You can rip me.
I won't be as aggressive.
No,
as I
be
was
as
gonna
aggressive
at
as you
first.
want, Al. It's
Rip
fine.
him out.
But I mean, listen, come on, man. Joker's the king of the hill, period. I don't care if it's another 5 years, 6, 7 years. Listen, 3-time MVP. I think he's leading the league in rebounding and assists.
Yeah.
First person ever if he completes the season.
This guy is just he's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? So he's the king of my hill.
Okay.
Right. After that, I would probably go SGA. And the reason why I like SGA, man, have you ever seen that guy sweat?
Right. I mean, he does.
have you ever seen him sweat?
So what
that usually doesn't weigh into my.
No, but it does. He does.
But that
He's
is
so
just
cool, bro.
smooth.
You can't speed him up, man. This kid dictates the game. He does what he wants to do. He gets where he wants to go. He does it's his game out there.
What I want to give SGA a shout out for is this, because it went totally under the radar. He broke a Wilt Chamberlain record, which those records, it's usually like the Wilt Chamberlain record book and then everything else.
Right.
Didn't sweat.
Most consecutive games scoring 20. Wilt had that
crazy.
record for 60 years, and SGA just broke it. So credit to him for that.
Yeah, so SGA, another one, all-world talent, and then you got to go Luka.
So here's the thing. I agree those are the 3 best players in the world. And this is a little unfair to Al, because historically, that's exactly how we did King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I, however, decided it's kind of what do you call that? Universal decision? Executive decision, pardon me. That we wanted to have a little more diversity atop the hill. And let me just ask this hypothetical, okay? If the Detroit Pistons win the championship, can Cade Cunningham say, can Cade Cunningham say, why am I not the best player in the world? If they
He
win
can
the
say
championship.
it, but I don't know how many other people will say it.
I was the
He's
number
great.
1 pick of the draft. I'm the only superstar on the team. I'm the only go-to offensive option on the team.
He would hold the belt.
But Halliburton, had they won that game last year, Game 7, you wouldn't have said he's the best player. As great as he is.
No,
you wouldn't have said he's the best player in the world.
No, but had the Celtics, when they won the title, if Tatum was awesome in that finals, I think he could have said it.
Yeah.
I think he could.
They all can say, once you win it, you can legitimately say it.
You get the summer.
Yeah, exactly. You get the summer.
You get the crown. You
You're bragging, right?
get the crown for the summer or whatever.
Al,
but
here's the
I need more
thing.
consistency. I need
That's fair.
years.
Because you're right. And it's interesting now that King of the Hill, it's always Jokic.
It is, though. We have to switch it up
That's
a little.
never been a problem with Mahomes.
Well,
Mountain.
it's named after a guy.
I mean,
it's named after
Mahomes. Mahomes is number 1 for
years.
Yes, years, and it's never been a problem.
I get killed for it. I get heckled in the street. Hey, where's the integrity on Mahomes Mountain? So I adjust and I get attacked anyway.
That's the problem. People get fatigued with great players.
Exactly.
You get that fatigue.
I don't know what the criteria is. I don't know if this is player of the week, player of the 2 weeks, whatever it is. But no matter what the criteria is, with all due respect to the great Jalen Brunson.
Bruce never believed in Brunson.
No, I do. But you can't have him ahead of Victor Wembanyama.
What do you think would
under
happen?
no circumstances.
What do you think would happen?
He played.
Wembanyama, I get it. He had 2 back-to-back 12-point games.
Yeah.
So what?
And then got beat.
Because he's so good defensively that he can score 12 points and still have a phenomenal game.
Huge impact on the game.
Yes, in those 3 games where he was subpar offensively, he had 11 blocks.
Yeah.
Okay?
No,
that game you went to, Nick, where you're about to rip him to shreds for being skinny, he had 25 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 rejections.
And 7 turnovers.
Okay, the 7 turnovers. Now, his game, here's the thing about Wemby, he does have a lot of room to grow.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to see him play more inside or closer to the basket, not quite as much perimeter stuff. Even though he's very good at the perimeter
Right?
stuff.
That's a classic. You got to clap.
Right. But still, and here, in all seriousness, Nick, though, his defense
is better
and he's obviously a very good offensive player too. But I think with Brunson, and Al, you chime in after Nick and tell me if you agree with this. Brunson is great, and I get it, he's a scoring point guard. Right. But I'll just say this, he is the point guard, okay? Sometimes I think, Karl Anthony Towns, as the point guard, I think it's somewhat your responsibility, as well as Mike Brown, to get him involved. We see Cat fading, sometimes doesn't get enough shots, 5 shots against, was it Detroit recently?
Yep, that's a good call.
The point guard, I get it, you're a scorer first, but still, get your big man some touches, right? Make sure he's involved, keep him engaged and all that. I just think
because Cat was low on the mountain, that actually should drag. That's actually James'
I just think overall that's something Mike Brown and Jalen could do a better job.
No, I agree with you. I mean, point guards, it's their responsibility to manage the entire game.
Yes.
Right? And I think that he has that in his game, right? Because when he was at Villanova, he wasn't like a scoring guard like this. It's like when he got to New York, he's got so locked in on scoring that's kind of all that he kind of focuses on. But I agree with you. If he can try to figure out how to pull guys along the way, you know what I'm saying? Early in the game, right? Get Cat a couple touches inside. Make him feel good about himself. You understand what I'm saying? That'll go a long way, you know what I'm saying, in the game, and it'll probably help them win some more games and make him feel a part of it.
Jose Alvarado does do that, for the record.
No doubt.
He actually does.
Listen, let me, since you guys did the Brunson part, let me talk Wemby for a moment.
Sure.
Who is the guy offensively that Wemby seems to have modeled his game after?
I thought it was Durant.
A little
Correct.
Durant, yeah.
I
more handled than Durant, but yeah.
I did too. So, Al, you might not know this since you're new, but there are a few things in Bru's sports watching career that are just seared into his memory that he can't get over. And one of them, Brew knows what I'm about to say, and one of them for Kevin Durant is one playoff series against the Boston Celtics where they roughed him up, where the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, the physical basketball, and all of a sudden he was inefficient and whatever it is. And I'm just telling you, sitting there at MSG Sunday and watching OG Anunoby and Karl Anthony Towns and a lot of Mitchell Robinson rough Wemby up. Yeah, he got his 25, but with the 7 turnovers, I was like, this might be my Kevin Durant against the Celtics moment for Wemby, for Brew. I need to see Wemby excel when guys are trying to beat him up. And until then, it's just a minor concern for an obviously great player.
That's what we're going to see in the
isn't that a fair? That's a fair.
That's fair.
Hey,
exactly
listen,
what we're
he's
gonna see in the
obviously
playoffs.
a great player, and he might win MVP this year. But that is, what we know is whoever they play in the playoffs, they're going to try to do
Yes.
that. They're going to see if that gets to them.
They should.
Go, KW.
First of all,
Yeah.
about the Wemby, Brunson over Wemby, this is exactly what King of the Hill needs.
What's that?
That when 2 guys play and one guy plays better than the other guy, he moves up the mountain, the other guy
I don't
moves
know
down.
if he played better. In that game.
The game
I
was
don't
not
know.
close. I'll tell you when Wemby wasn't efficient, when the Knicks run like a 26-2 run. Block some of those shots. 24-2.
I like that Brandon Miller finally made the mountain.
Yeah.
That being said, I wanted to just add Brandon Miller and friends because I don't think LaMelo or Khan deserve to be on the mountain, but it's a little bit club superstar adjacent. Like I got two guys.
You got a +2?
I got two guys.
You got two with you?
Yeah,
two guys? You can't, no.
Sorry, that's not what it is. Club's all guys.
That never works.
The club's all guys, and they're all wearing basketball uniforms. It'll work fine. All right, so Hornets this season. I also want to stake my claim to the Hornets, which is all of a sudden contested ground. Wait, the Hornets rate.
Just go ahead. Just keep going.
Hornets are good.
Knipple's been awesome.
LaMelo's 19. I think the Hornets are even better than that. He doesn't play every game. Miller, since the All-Star break, 23.2 points. Thank you, Troy, for that 0.2. I appreciate that. And Khan set the NBA rookie record. Also, probably can make an argument Khan is best three-point shooter in the league right now. A little early on that
He
territory,
might be
but
rookie
he
of
might
the
be.
year, too.
Yeah, he's now the favorite because of
Cooper
Cooper Flagg's injury. So that was my Hornets fandom fault.
Yeah.
I apologize. So that's it. I like that Brandon Miller's there. Just want to throw the Hornets on there. And when the Hornets are a playing team and I pick them to get to the
It's a compelling
playoffs.
case. It would have been more compelling if about 90 minutes for the show I didn't hear you say, "Gosh darn it!"
I didn't. Well,
there is a Hornet on the hill.
Well, I didn't realize.
He didn't really.
I was shocked.
He was going to do this whole thing because he assumed there were no Hornets on there. But then Brandon Miller's on there. That's fine. I will believe that the Hornets are more than a cute team if and when I hear LaMelo has used some of his max contract to hire a driver.
You would think so.
You can still have the fancy cars.
Right.
You can ride shotgun.
Sure.
Like,
Oh, you can't get made. I do it. I get made fun of.
well, yeah, you know what? You're
Right. Coming up next, Kyler bids adieu to the Cardinals, and we play Who You Got? World Cup edition next. We are 100 days away. The biggest tournament on the planet comes to America, and you can see it all right here on Fox. Get ready for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. All kicks off on June 11th on Fox and right here on FS1. You don't even have to change your channel.
Well, you should flip during the Fox games.
During the Fox game, you should flip over.
Yeah.
You know what's not big anymore? Picture in picture.
No, it's not. I
Why
thought that
not?
was going to be the new thing.
I would love
Now
that.
it's multi-screen.
Well, I got to buy another television?
No.
100 days away from the World Cup. Let's take a look at the odds. Spain at number 1. England
We're going deep on these
at
odds.
2. France and Brazil tied at 3. Argentina, Portugal, Germany, the Netherlands at 8. Norway, they're up in Gillette. I might go see that game. Belgium and Italy. Italy's not even.
Italy's got to make it.
What are we talking about?
No, but that means it. So I'm just telling you right now. If you think Italy's going to win the little tournament it's in, they've got to beat Northern Ireland and the winner of Wales or Bosnia. 30-1's good value because if they win it, they will immediately go to 25-1.
Colombia, Morocco. Then it's the USA and Uruguay. Yeah. Number 16, Mexico.
Uruguay won the first World Cup ever. And won one other since then, I believe.
I mean, yeah, I guess the Packers are still good. Who do you?
Luis Suarez is pretty good. He's a contender.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think Uruguay has I'm not an Uruguay guy.
Okay, well, they certainly have a chance.
I'm not saying they don't have a chance. They're tied with the United States of America.
I think Drew should be able to pick first because seniority. Not on the show, but on Earth.
Who you got?
I'm saying this
in
with
pen.
my chest 10 toes down. Give me France.
Well, we also have USA's just in general.
Yeah.
I love
USA is our team.
Who
We'd
you're
all love
rooting
to
for
see
is
America
different.
win.
But pick to win
France
it.
is
But
who you're gonna ride.
France is who I think will win the cup.
Yes.
All right. Last time, 2022, they finished second. Tough match with Argentina. Obviously,
All
they got
time great.
Arguably the best player in the world in Mbappe. And Nick, I think you forgot this or just didn't fail. It didn't register with you. You didn't think it was as big of a deal. The head coach, kind of French soccer legend, Didier Deschamps, announced before, a while ago, this will be his last World Cup.
That's a good one.
So I wonder, I would imagine that the players are going to be like, oh, let's send him out on top. They obviously came close last time. So I think they're going to have even more motivation to send him out on top. So I like France. And obviously their team is stacked.
Yeah.
So they got a great chance.
Because KW also loves France.
Go Go, you go.
No, I was just gonna. I want you to
have
go.
all that info.
He probably did.
You didn't know about
what I will
PDA.
just add to it is one of evidence of how stacked France is. Mbappe might be the best player in the world.
He might not.
Also, might not be the best player on his own team.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, that's
no,
what
I'm a Dembele guy.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, you can't pick them.
I don't think that's true necessarily.
Go ahead.
Are you picking them?
I didn't know that you were taking France. And I think it would be good for the camaraderie of the show if you and I were together, like how we believe in due dates. That's really brought us closer together.
Yes. That's fine.
Well, we also
you can
both
have
picked the
France
Patriots.
and you can have a side team.
Thank you.
Because he does have
Outside
an
of
affiliation
Curacao.
to France as well, so that's fine.
Outside of Curacao.
Yes.
Okay.
And not one of the big dogs that you
Then
wanna
I will
roll.
take France and Spain.
Okay, well, going out on a limb.
Yes, I will say
Yeah.
I am taking
You
the
love
youngest and
Jamal.
most dynamic
Yes.
player in the tournament.
Can we let that go, though?
He needs a win.
I get it if
He
you're
needs a
taking
win, bro.
France and Curacao.
I am.
Or Spain and
I'm taking
Curacao.
Spain, France,
You're
Curacao, and the United States, and Mexico.
Let him have
Because there's a great chance either France or Spain wins it.
I will
don't
now
think you'll be up
seed
here
France.
bragging.
I will now seed France and just become a Yolan guy.
That's okay. So now he's just Spain, but he also is
Okay.
kind of rooting for France. This is easy for me.
And Curacao. Don't forget
I
Curacao.
am
We get Curacao.
for the 9th consecutive World Cup, picking Brazil. If you guys remember, I talked about it on the show, but I've talked about it probably a little more on the podcast. The last time the World Cup came around, I bet certainly at the time, and maybe, an irresponsible amount of money on Brazil to win it, and then told my wife, we are going to Brazil with the winnings, a great trip to Rio with the winnings from them winning the World Cup right after they win it. Like, we'll be in Brazil during the celebration, it'll be sick. Brazil then didn't win it. Their rival Argentina won it. And my wife was still like, trip to Rio on the docket. And we went. So it cost me twice. It was a great trip, by the way. Beautiful country, amazing people. I loved it.
So in for, what is it?
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yes.
We're running that sucker back.
Oh, no.
She wants to go back. It's a big country. You only went to Rio. There's Sao Paulo. There's so many great places.
Sure.
So I'm getting plus 750. Oh, my. They do 7 trips.
So I feel like you should also have a free roll. I know it's weird.
On Argentina?
Just from the LeBron Messi factor.
Well,
older guy making a run. I just feel
listen,
like
I do love the kind of South American style of play, which is what Brazil was always great when I was a kid, and I thought it was so cool that Ronaldo was the best player in the world. Then a guy named Ronaldinho was the best player in the world, and the Nike ads were great. And Messi obviously has kind of taken that mantle. But no, I believe Brazil can win, obviously, and they are my pick. So France, Spain,
Curacao, Mexico, and the United States.
Okay, well, we're going to do a whole draft of all the teams. So you get one pick, and I'm rocking with Brazil.
France,
once again.
Spain, Brazil.
Or England, just out there. And
England's not winning the World Cup, bro. You know how I know? Because it's a major soccer tournament. England's not winning it. They don't win big tournaments.
Tough ones, right?
They don't, sorry.
Live from New York, it's First Things First, overtime. News out of Arizona. Kyler Murray says goodbye. Where does he go next? Meanwhile, special edition of Top 10 Tuesday, Danny's Top 10 NBA teams.
I regret to report.
What happened?
Rife with issues.
Oh, perfect
Right.
top 10.
I feel like
Yeah, it was
Right.
You thought his NFL list were questionable.
I loved it. I loved it.
I was going to
you
be
did have
nice,
Seattle
but they
number.
ripped King of the Hill so much, I've got to...
I saw that.
It all flows. I gotta get back at somebody.
And finally, we are 100 days away from the World Cup.
I heard that.
We are counting down. And Danny, are you going to make a World Cup pick?
Oh, happy to.
Are you going to do it right now or later on? Give us a teaser. Chris Broussard, Kevin Wiles, Nick Wright, Danny Parkins.
Maybe the coolest fan atmosphere
fierce sporting event I ever attended, Spain-Germany World Cup 1994 in Chicago with my dad.
Oh, nice.
Bought a Spain hat, then was in Spain living with a family in high school when Real Madrid signed David Beckham.
Sick.
Wow.
So I don't want to interrupt you, but earlier in the show, Ruiz France, I actually have Spain. So despite the great memory,
Despite me actually having a tie to Spanish soccer,
I also have been to one Real Madrid game.
It's not quite doing a semester over there in high school.
I've been to a Spain World Cup game.
Also, hold on.
I picked Spain already.
I've known you for almost 25 years.
France, Spain.
Your high school was so fancy. You did semester abroad in high school?
Summer program abroad.
Summer abroad in
what kind of high school did you go?
My goodness. Wow. That is awesome. I didn't know that was a thing. Certainly not in the 90s.
Yeah, I was selling ice cream.
2000s. Yeah, early 2000s.
I head to Arizona, where the Cardinals are going to release Kyler Murray. Not totally unexpected, but all of a sudden kind of sad. Here's what Kyler wrote on social media. To everyone that supported me and showed kindness to my family and I during my time in Arizona, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I wanted nothing more than to be the one to end the
77-year drought.
77-year drought for the organization.
It's a long drought. Sorry.
I'm sorry I failed us. I wish this community and my brothers nothing but the best. He goes on. He says he's prepared for whatever is next. He trusts in God and my work ethic. I truly believe my best ball is in front of me, and I look forward to proving it. Godspeed from Kyler Murray.
That really touched you.
I just thought it was like if I got released, I'd be like, deuces, I'm out of here. But I thought this was really sweet.
I thought it was a great letter, but I think it's what most people do.
Yeah, but I
say I'm sorry for not being able to deliver.
Look,
it's like the number
if that's
one
a sign of kind of humility and understanding, okay, blowing it might be a little too strong, but look, I'm not making the most of my career, then I love it. That wherever he goes next, he's going to be like, okay, I didn't do the right things in Arizona. I wasn't as studious as I needed to be. I've learned my lesson. I love it if that's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think blowing it is too strong. Like, yes,
he's a number one pick.
He was a number one pick. He got a second contract, so in that sense, he's been a success. But I mean, he got hurt, and then they just didn't bring him back this year. Like, I mean, they were like, oh, Jacoby Brissett, Kyler Murray. We'll go with Jacoby Brissett. Like, it ended very poorly for him in Arizona.
It's just, before we get to like the main, just to add to that, I do think it is a profound experience in anyone's life the first time they actually fail. And Kyler Murray's never failed.
No.
Like I know you guys joke, you gave me a hard time yesterday, but he is regarded as the greatest player in the history of Texas high school football. He then went to college, was unbelievable, and won the Heisman Trophy. He then was the number one pick, and very early in his Cardinals career was that best year they had.
He was a first-round pick in baseball.
That's what I was going to say.
He's one of the best athletes
all the
to ever
little
come to
kids
the
that
NFL.
want to play baseball, and Kyler Murray's thinking, I don't play professional baseball because I choose not to.
Oh yeah,
he's one of the best athletes to come to the NFL.
And so to your and then early in his career, that was the year they started
Pro Bowl.
Right, they started 9-0. That was the year when they had J.J. Watt and DeAndre early on there. He got that huge deal, and then basically everything since this isn't why, but the moment the story came out that they put the study clause in the contract.
Call of Duty clause.
Yeah, it has been a different arc in his career that led to this, which is his first sports failure that I'm aware of in any regard. But go ahead.
Yeah, so here's my question for you, Danny. With the specter of Sam Darnold's Super Bowl championship looming over really every quarterback's career outside the great quarterbacks, how much of Kyler Murray's failure is on Kyler Murray, and how much of it is just on, hey man, you're drafted by the Cardinals. That's how this organization rolls.
Yeah, I think while he is not like Sam Darnold in terms of he does not have typical size, everything else about Kyler does kind of scream Sam Darnold. bad franchise, couple different offensive coordinators, relative stability at head coach. He's only had a couple. But, like, if you said, hey, he's mobile, he's fast, he has a cannon for an arm, and he still is young and in his athletic prime, I absolutely think that a franchise could talk themselves into, we can turn Kyler Murray into a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, I absolutely believe that. And so to answer that question anyway, like, I'll tell you the team I don't want to see him go to because it would be in the Bears division, and it's Minnesota. Like, so if I was Kyler, I would be trying to go there, even if it meant there was the spectacle of a competition, at least at the beginning, with J.J. McCarthy.
He would beat. I'm not a big Kyler Murray guy. He would beat out J.J. McCarthy.
I know, but if he went
but
to
it would still be a competition.
But it would be a competition.
Right. If he went to the Jets, there is no competition. If he goes to the Steelers and Will Howard, there is no competition. Like, but if I were him, I would say, well, Kevin O'Connell had Kirk Cousins have monster years. He had Sam Darnold have a monster year. I'm in a dome with a great play caller, with arguably the best receiver in football, and a lot of other talent on offense, and an elite defense that at the end of the year was shutting down the Lions, was shutting down the Packers. Like, Kyler Murray ends up in Arizona. They are
in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, excuse me. They are a playoff contender immediately, and we will talk about him through the Sam Darnold prism.
Before you go, Brew, can I
like that.
How much of everything you just said there also applies to Atlanta?
A lot of it.
Like
a lot of it.
Competition with Penix. You're in a dome. You have. I think Stefanski's a pretty good offensive, mind as well. You have talent, so that I think certainly an easier division.
Easier division. The Pierce legal stuff. More defensive questions in Atlanta than I would say Minnesota, but
no doubt.
I would absolutely apply Atlanta, same type of logic.
I think that makes sense. I do think Atlanta may be a little more in on Penix. Like, I think they want him to play, but he's injury prone, just like JJ. So that's a question. But I was looking more, if I'm him, I'm crossing out the Jets. Cleveland, I don't know that, they still got Watson, they got Shaheed. I don't know if they'll go after him. Miami, if I'm him, I'm probably not really high on going there. Pittsburgh could make some sense because it really be the same thing as Justin Fields for them. Like, okay, this is a guy he has probably more talent than Justin, but I'm saying they're like, oh, let's take a shot on him and see if he's our guy in the future. But I agree with Danny. Minnesota makes all the sense in the world. And you're right, it would be a competition. He should beat out J.J. McCarthy. And, they won 9 games with abysmal quarterback play. If he really is really soul-searching and saying, okay, I'm really going to lock into the things that can make me a good quarterback, which are the studying and maybe attitude, things like that. We know he has the physical ability. Mm-hmm. And so I would love to see him in Minnesota. Look, it's a tough division. He could play well there and they could not make the playoffs. But he could play well there and they could go deep into the playoffs. So, yeah, I think Minnesota makes all the sense in the world.
Can I – hold on, because
Go ahead.
I'm going to throw a total wild card out there. So if you want to ask a follow-up first, go ahead.
I was wondering, because I agree with Brew, if I was with an organization that was not A+, let's just say, I'm crossing off the other organizations that are either rebuilding or might be a little bit funky. If I'm Mike McCarthy, I don't know if I'm waiting on Aaron Rodgers any longer.
Oh, he shouldn't be.
I'm like, you know what? Kevin O'Connell, God bless him up in Minnesota. I can coach an offense too. And I've got a better playoff record than you do. We might not have Justin Jefferson, but we got DK Metcalf. Our division is also tough.
No, I think the NFC North is tougher than the AFC North.
I agree.
Even though there's not a Lamar in that division.
It's stable. Vikings are, fire their GM, but are considered stable. But I like Mike McCarthy. I like Kyler. I think it's interesting in Pittsburgh.
So all right. So here's the
You've got a wild card?
Because I wrote down Pittsburgh/Cleveland as ones that I knew people bring up. Minnesota and Atlanta, because he is probably going to one of those 4 teams. Mm-hmm. I understand that because Kyler Murray probably right now is like, no, I want to start next year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if he should. If my number one job was ensure Kyler Murray has the best chance at reaching his full potential and his next stop be his last stop and he actually be excellent one day, I would tell him, go to the Rams.
I knew you were going to say that.
Don't play. You know you won't play this year. And what you're going to do is the study habits you didn't learn, you're going to learn. That sitting at the, learning from Sean McVay and Matt Stafford, you are going to, kind of quietly rebuild, your confidence, whatever it is, and it will be a direct handoff from Matt Stafford to you in a year. And by the way, you might play this year because I know Stafford was healthy this year, but going into the year, guy was hanging out in the amortal chamber because we were worried about his back. And that, to me, would the Rams, because the Rams don't have, as no team really does, a path after Stafford, and they shouldn't worry about a path after Stafford. They're trying to win Super Bowls right now. But that would be, I think, the best thing for him. Because I think Kevin O'Connell's a really good coach. A lot of that has to do with good offenses, but I know Sean McVay's a great coach. I know the Rams have great talent. I know that's an excellent organization. And I know that it's really important for Kyler that the next stop work. Because if the next stop doesn't work, it's a couple years before you get another shot. Like it is, then all of a sudden you're
that
on.
almost feels like the Justin Fields path, though. It doesn't feel like
It's exactly like the Sam Darnold path.
Everybody
talks about the Darnold path.
Yeah, but Darnold didn't have an opportunity to start, right? Like, so he went.
Right.
He was like, I'm going to go to the best coach and learn with Shanahan, and then Brock Purdy happens.
But you're trying to avoid the Carolinas pit stop.
Correct.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
I'd rather go to the Rams than the Jets, but I would rather go to the Vikings and start than the Rams and back up.
But so I understand that, but I also would need if I am, let's just say the Rams are an option, then any place I choose over them, they need to tell me this is not a comp. I'm not running the risk of all of a sudden being the backup here.
No,
because I suffer, I
the
pull my
J.J. McCarthy
hamstring.
thing has to be.
Right, because the other thing is you can lose a competition because you get outplayed, or you can lose a competition because you tweak your hamstring on the second day of training camp and you're out 3 weeks. Like I need to be I need to be told beyond a shadow of a doubt you're the starter, or else I don't know, and maybe it's too much Sean McVay pixie dust, but McVay had Baker for 2 weeks.
Literally for like that one first game.
He was great, right.
Quickly can put you on the spot here. How does the money work?
So I think his contract has offsets. Do you know the answer to this?
I'm pretty sure he can sign for the minimum because Arizona's paying him.
He's going to get $35 million from Arizona.
And so now, by the way, some guys don't, even though they're not going to pocket any extra money, some guys don't want to do that because
you need an investment from the
team? You're right, because you want the team to show they're invested or the ego hit of it. But it is, most of these contracts, if Arizona owes them 35 and the next team pays them 5, then Arizona only owes them 30. Right. If the next team pays him 15, then Arizona only owes him 20. I'm not 100% certain if his contract had it, but if he agreed to study habits clause, I think he probably agreed to offset clause.
Really interesting. All right, we'll have more on that all week. In between our Trey Hendrickson news, but right now...
Trey Hendrickson, why didn't we get his farewell letter on the show?
We got to do top 10, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right, Giannis is back. I don't think the Bucks are making the top 10, but we'll see where the Celtics fared. They held the Bucks to 79 without Giannis, 81 with Giannis, because they are a great defense. Where do the Celtics fall in top 10 Tuesday? Let's find out.
We'll get to the Celtics in just a little bit. And yeah, Giannis would be top 10 player, but the Bucks not a top 10 team. I will say, though, coming in at number 10, the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think
feels about right.
Yeah, I don't think they can win, but in the 6 games since the All-Star break, when Luka, LeBron, and Reeves have all been starting, those guys are averaging 67 points a game, the 3 of them. Their goal is to outscore everybody. Since the All-Star break, it's been working.
I mean, they pounded the Kings.
Yeah. They pounded the Kings, exactly. Coming in at number 9, the Rockets. The Rockets are a little too similar to last year's version of the Rockets for my liking, which is weird, even though they added Kevin Durant. Like, Şengün's amazing, a big who does everything and is efficient. They're the best rebounding team in basketball by far, but they still don't seem versatile enough to me. I think they easily could lose in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs, but they are the 3 seed right now, so they come in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, the New York Knicks. My skepticism of this team is what they're doing recently on the defensive end real? Or is it just Mike Brown has some buy-in from a team that is playing hard in the regular season and getting them to overachieve on that end? I'm skeptical. But if their defense is real, they can win, because when they hold teams to under 100 points, they're one of 2 teams in the NBA that's undefeated. So like when the defense shows up, their offense is good enough to beat basically anybody. I just have my skepticism that that'll actually continue in May and into June. Coming in at number 7, the try-hard Pistons. They're young, they're fun. I love Cade Cunningham. We just have seen so many teams in the NBA that they play the regular season like it's the playoffs, and then when everyone else is playing the playoffs like it's the playoffs, the gap closes. Brew, you always talk about how Cade Cunningham, they don't have a true second scorer. They also don't really have a second playmaker. Cade Cunningham accounts for 33% of their assists, which is the highest percentage of any one player in the NBA. At number 6, Wilds, your Boston Celtics. They're going to get Tatum back. We don't know when, but since the end of January, since January 31st, across the board, best team in the NBA. It's kind of wild, and that opponent points per game, I know people are talking about.
That's impressive.
I know they're talking about the chemistry when Tatum comes back. They've dealt with that before, with Jaylen Brown being the Finals MVP. Like, they'll figure that out. I'd be worried about what Tatum coming back does to the defense for Boston if he's anything less after the Achilles.
Wilds is wildly distracted by the little note line. Second best.
Wasn't
defense.
nothing. It wasn't
Hornets.
Yeah.
And he's wondering if they're about to show up in your top 5.
11 got in there. 11 Hornets.
11 Hornets.
Take it.
Yeah.
On the bubble.
You should take it. Yeah, right on the bubble. Coming in at number 5, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I give them a ton of credit for what they've done in the playoffs the last couple of years. Like, back-to-back Western Conference Finals is obviously impressive. They just beat the Nuggets 117-108 on Sunday. It's a team that plays its best basketball late in the season, and even if they're going to go in as a road team in round 1 in the West, I still think that they can end up coming out of the conference. Coming in at number 4, my Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, without Donovan Mitchell, they've 1-2 in the last couple of games without him. But Jared Allen's been playing great since Harden's been there. Harden coming back and battling through the broken thumb. I think they actually have the ability, like we've talked about, to be a great offensive and defensive team going into the playoffs. Great defensive front court. Coming in number 3, the San Antonio Spurs. Question for them down the stretch. Can they get the 1 seed? They are 2 back of the Thunder in the West right now. But the Thunder have the 3rd toughest schedule the rest of the way. Spurs are middle of the pack. So we talk about a young team. They've never won a playoff series. Imagine if we got a Spurs-Thunder series and Game 7 was in San Antonio when they've had all that success. So San Antonio's playing for a lot, obviously, in the playoffs. They also are probably playing for the 1 seed in the Western Conference the rest of the way. Coming in number 2, the Denver Nuggets. Best player in the sport. Best offense in the sport, and quietly, I know you guys were talking about Jamal Murray. He came up earlier in the King of the Hill conversation. Jamal Murray's having the best season of his career.
Finally came into the year in shape. Amazing what it does.
And he's taking the most shots, and he is producing at the highest level, and we've already seen him obviously be the 2nd best player on a title team. If this is the version of Jamal Murray that they're going to get the whole year, which has been the case, that is a very scary team. They're the best offense in the sport. But coming in at number 1, it's the Thunder. So many ways to point out that they're the best team. Point differential, historic point differential, best offense, best defense, all those things. But SGA right now, if we put this up, he's averaging over 31 points a game with a better than 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. It's never happened in NBA history. I mean, we've been tracking it since the early 80s, because normally when you have that volume of scoring, you're going to have more turnovers. So like the ability to be that efficient, not turn it over and score at that clip, he would be the only player ever to clear those thresholds. So he's got a shot at MVP because of the 65-game thing, but he's having a remarkable
We're
year.
running a little short on time. I know you have 10 takes here.
No, it's got to be perfect.
I'll cut the bonus takes. I'm going to say Detroit should be higher. I would switch Detroit and Cleveland. Look, Detroit is 7-1 against the other 3 top 4 seeds in the East. All right, I think their physical brand about the Knicks looked physical against the Spurs and finesse against Detroit. Like Detroit, that's playoff basketball too. And everybody's they've beaten the Knicks 6 straight times in the regular season. Everybody talks about the Knicks beating them in the playoffs. That was a really tough series. And I know the Knicks won in 6 games, but a couple of those games could have went either way, and Detroit might have won. So I think Detroit's going to do some damage in the playoffs. So I will put them in the top 5.
So, do you want
No.
to
Go ahead. I know we're short.
I understand, because I have this affinity as well, to look at Nikola Jokic and be like, well, his team's got to be one of the best teams. Look at what a great season he's having. Look at what a great player he is, especially when his wingman is having, to your point, the best season of his career. The NBA season is 82 games long. In the last 35, the Nuggets are 17-18. And they almost lost last night to the Jazz. They have the same number of losses this year as the 10th ranked Lakers, and their defense is right now bottom 10 in the league. So I understand the idea that once they get Peyton Watson back, once they get Aaron Gordon back, they're championship tested. They took the Thunder 7 games last year, that they have upside. But there is just, to me, no argument that right now they're a top 2 team in the league. I just think that they have not earned that. I think there's a number of teams on your list that right now have a better resume than Denver.
Well, Denver, listen, the Thunder thing in the playoffs definitely sticks with me. That series was remarkable. Took them to the brink.
Where are the Pacers on this?
Well, come on. The Nuggets this season, even with all that, they lead the league in points per game, assist-to-turnover ratio, 3-point percentage, and offensive rating. Like, just being the best offensive team in the sport with the best player, that matters.
Hard ceiling.
You think it's a hard? So you're out on your Nuggets?
I'm not out.
But you just said hard ceiling.
But I asked my wife where the coats are. Let's just say that. Not out, or thinking about leaving.
That's your wife.
I'm glad you explained that.
Yeah, it's quite an
I got it. Wilds is
you go to a party, you go throw your coat somewhere.
I mean, I get it now that you explained it.
The best quips.
Just out of nowhere.
That's not my fault. That's a common thing.
Are you saying I'm slow?
No, you pile up the coats in like a spare bedroom. Pulisic. 100 days to World Cup. He's not going to be on the show, but I wish he was, maybe eventually.
Welcome back to the OT. Danny Parkins, Willie Colon, and you might have heard, we are 100 days from the World Cup kicking off right here on Fox and FS1. The studio is decorated. The extravaganza has been going on across the network all day. And it is time to welcome in our Fox Sports soccer analyst and our friend, Maurice Edu, here with us on the OT. 100 days, we're counting it down. And Mo, it's actually, and thank you for joining us, it's actually 101 days till the U.S.'s first match against Paraguay, June 12th. And I love some bad blood in my sports. And the last time they played, the friendly, there was the benches clearing and the whole thing. And that matters. You see the passion in these World Cup matches. How much of that animosity do you think carries over into the opening match of the World Cup?
Well, first of all, it's good to see you fellas. Appreciate you for having me on. And I know you're sharing the same excitement that I have for the kickoff of this World Cup this summer. But to your question directly, you've seen rivalries, you've seen the passion when you play for your respective club teams across sports, right? But when you put on your country's colors and you have that crest across your chest, it's just a different feeling. And that game against Paraguay, we needed that. This group needed that. That little moment to kind of galvanize a group. You see Sebastian Berhalter, he's the first one running in there trying to protect his teammates. These moments, they last, they linger, they kind of fuel your fire. And for Paraguay to be our first opponent in the World Cup, I can't wait. And on the opposite side, Paraguay's looking back at this moment too, thinking like, yeah, we want that get back, because as much as this melee played out, at the end of the day, we also got the win. We got the dub. And so, I can't wait for that opening game. It's going to be something special.
Mo, June 19th, USA versus Australia. Since we're going to stay on brand, things got chippy back in October. I'm a former offensive lineman. I played in the NFL. I love chippy. I love me a good chippy scrap match. How does chippiness impact the sport, especially in the World Cup?
Chippiness, it's especially on home soil now, right? You do something when that starts getting infused into the game, that brings the crowd more into it. Sometimes that's enough to just get into the opponent's mindset a little bit. But for me, this U.S. team, they need that. They need that bite. This is a talented group, maybe the most talented group of individuals we've ever had on the national team. And in the run up to this World Cup, at times they've been questioned. Do they have enough grit? Do they have enough bite? I would say this last year, especially the second half of this last year, you saw that. This team fighting for one another, getting scrappy in the moments when they need to, putting in tackles when they need to. So I think you'll fully appreciate this version of this national team that we've seen, especially over the last 5 or 6 months, because they've put together a combination of good play, good football, good skill, but also not backing down from any opponent.
So Mo, U.S. men's national team player of the year, Chris Richards, was on the show earlier, and I want to read a quote to you because I love the mindset. He said, "Every team we play is a rivalry. We want to beat every team and make a statement while doing it." And he also spoke to, we're going to the World Cup with the expectation of trying to win it. And that is obviously would be an incredible thing. It would be the biggest story that could come out of the World Cup. But what is the correct mindset for a team to take into this thing when there are a lot of ways to judge success in a World Cup, but he's talking about winning it and treating everyone in their path like it's a rivalry?
Amen. Amen to Chris Richards. I echo those same sentiments. That, honestly, fellas, that has to be the way you approach it. If you go into it setting the bar any lower than that, well, then you kind of lower your own standards. If you go in and say, yeah, we're going to approach it one game at a time, but our goal is to win this tournament, it gives you the best chance for success. Now, that's not ever looking past any opponent or taking anything for granted. But I want this group to believe they can win the World Cup. I want this group to set that as their goal, as their standard, as their North Star, and see how it plays out. So I'm all on board with Chris Richards, and I would bet a lot of money that if you were to quiz the rest of his teammates and this group of players, they all have that same mindset, and that can take you a long way, especially in this kind of competition.
Mo, one of USA's biggest stars is Christian Pulisic. He has having a big year for AC Milan, but he's going through a drought. Should we be concerned with that?
In Christian, I trust, man. Listen, this guy, we all go through ups and downs. You guys have played sports. You know it's a roller coaster. Sometimes you're doing the right things, you're getting in the right positions, but you're just not finding the back of the net. And for Christian, that's kind of what he's going through right now. Still playing well, still impacting his team, just hasn't scored this calendar year. But every time Christian puts on the red, white, and blue, this guy is a beast. He's an animal. He's a leader by his play. His teammates believe in him. We as fans, as analysts, as commentators, we believe and trust in him. And I've seen him on the biggest stage shine. So no, I'm not concerned. I know when it comes time for him to put on the USA's jersey, he'll be ready to go and he'll lead his team in the right direction.
I want to ask you about one of his teammates, Weston McKennie. Yeah, exactly. He just signs his extension with his team in Italy where he's balling. It's like goals, assists, points in every game. They're playing in 5-6 different positions. So Swiss Army knife, what type of role do you see him having for this World Cup team?
I love Weston. Honestly, I've loved Weston since he's been part of this national team because the kid just brings this kind of bounce to the team. The team has a different kind of feeling and a different kind of balance when he's on the pitch. And part of it is because he's just a good player overall. Yeah, he can play various positions, and that's not easy, but he's adaptable, and he's always a key contributor to this team. Honestly, when I look at the form of these players for this group of players currently, if you were to ask me today, I think Weston has the potential to be the standout player when this tournament's said and done for the U.S. team. I think he could be the most impactful because of, like you mentioned, his versatility. But there's also this kind of passion and energy that he brings, this motivation where he can pick up his teammates, he knows how to bring the best out of them. And going back to the conversation earlier about chippiness and bite, he's got all that. So I think Weston's going to play a key role for this team come summertime.
Mo, there was a lot of pressure on USA's head coach, Maurice Edu, to get this team into the World Cup. They've arrived. What can we expect from him, and what does he need to do to make sure this team has success?
Yeah, I would say the tough part early on for Pochettino was trying to figure out, one, who are the players that he can trust? Who is his best group of players? And then the fact that this team didn't have to go through World Cup qualifying, all they were going to play was friendlies in the lead up to the World Cup. So it was a tricky moment, but I think especially this second half of 2025, this team has really come together in the right way. And part of it is because of something that he did. He changed the tactics. He changed the formation a little bit. And now he got his best players on the pitch. He's able to get them in positions that are more suitable for, I guess, the cohesion of this group. And so now when you lead up to the World Cup, there's 4 more games, 4 more friendlies where he's got to identify who his starting 11 are. But more importantly, on June 12th, when that first whistle blows, he's got to have this team in the right mindset. Playing on home soil can be such an advantage, but it can also be pressure. So he needs to make sure that these players view all that support that they're going to have, all that comfortable nature of being in your home country as an advantage and not a deteriorating factor, which I'm sure they will be, and I'm sure he'll have this team ready to go.
So we're doing the 100-day countdown, but before the official opening match against Paraguay, there are 4 friendlies still to come, beginning at the end of March. There's a lot to accomplish, including setting the official roster, but what are the goals? What does success look like in those friendlies?
Success, I would say, of course you want to win. We're playing against some really strong opponents. So to round out these set of friendlies and go into the World Cup, continuing this momentum that they built towards the end of 2025, where they went 5 games unbeaten. So you look at the opponents we're playing. We're playing Belgium. We're playing Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. Senegal, one of the top African nations. They just won African Cup of Nations as well. And Germany, who's always the powerhouse. So 4 really good games that'll set the tone for what we should expect this summer. So success for me looks like we walk away from these 4 games, hopefully with a few wins in the bag. But more importantly, we're confident that this team is ready to compete. Everything that we talked about, they're ready to scrap, they're ready to fight. But beyond that, there's the chemistry, there's the cohesion, and we have a group of players that we can believe are going to go and inspire this nation, galvanize this nation, and give us something to really celebrate and cherish when July 19th rolls around.
Mo, it's 100 days. We'll see you at the World Cup, man. Thank you so much. We're counting it down.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys at some games as well.
Hey, love that. From your mouth to God's ears, we hope to be there. That's Mo Edu. 100 days until the FIFA World Cup, kicking off on Fox and FS1. Welcome back to the OT. We got Willie Colon and Al Harrington hanging out now. So let's talk some hoops, play a little game of contenders or pretenders. Pretty self-explanatory. Who we got up first?
Are the Cavs contenders or pretenders?
Contenders. I feel like I'm on an island on this one. And I understand James Harden's postseason struggles. And I understand that the Cavs have disappointed also. But they have had terrible injuries, including Darius Garland, who they just traded away. James Harden has played 44 more games the last 3 years than Darius Garland. Say a lot of things about James Harden. Right. He laces them up. Yeah. Like he shows up, and he does not have to be the number 1 scorer on this team because Donovan Mitchell is there, and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are there. He just has to do what James Harden's been doing this year, which is play great. And I think in a wide open Eastern Conference, they can come out of it, Al. They're a contender.
I'd say pretender.
Okay.
I just need to see it. I think Donovan, he's at the point where we need you to get over that hump. And obviously adding James Harden, a prolific scorer like that, definitely gives them a better chance. They have a great backcourt with the 2 big guys you just mentioned, and Jalen Tyson coming on as an elite defender for them. So, they have the players there, but I'm just not confident they're going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm with you, Al. I think they're pretenders 100%, and that's because they're fragile. You talk about Donovan Mitchell now dealing with the groin. Yeah. People aren't mentioning that James Harden is dealing with a thumb injury right now. You also got to realize, they play their 2 bigs, but that's because they have no help on the wings. Matt Strauss has been out with a Jones fracture, right? So because of that, they're forced to play their 2 bigs, and they're weak on the wings. I don't see how that's sustainable going the distance into the playoffs. Valid, they're playing really well as of right now, but nevertheless, I don't see them as a contender.
Okay. Don't say I didn't tell you so.
All right, we'll see.
Although I am the exact guy to say. I am that exact type of guy.
You usually have a costume to tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I get the James Harden beard. That'd be excellent. All right, what's up next?
Are the Knicks contenders or pretenders?
I'm glad Willie is on that side of the table here because I believe that the Knicks are pretenders.
Wow.
I just don't believe that a team with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns is going to be a top 5 defensive team. I know their defensive rating for the last month is top 5.
Right.
I know Mike Brown is a great defensive coach, and I know they have other really good defensive pieces around those two guys. But I have just seen them too often in the postseason, both of them get targeted, and you can't take them off the floor. So until I see it in the postseason, Karl Anthony Towns be a plus defensive player, because I'll give him credit. He's been playing better. He's been giving more effort with higher stretches of time anyway.
They've been calling him out because of it.
I'm watching. And so I admit that this year it has been better. But until I see that in the postseason, I am just skeptical that your two best players can be defensive liabilities. I say pretender.
Well, they're contenders to me, man. I think that, obviously they had a little bit of heartache, they losing last year in the, conference finals, but I think they learned a lot. I feel like, they really get a lot of energy from the city. You know what I'm saying? When spring come around, the weather gets nice, everybody gets outside and everything. But, Cat is, to me, he's going to be the X factor, right? If he can be consistent, play smart, not get in foul trouble. Right. I think Jalen can help him out by, feeding the big fella a little bit, make him feel good about himself. I think, when he's feeling good offensively, then he usually do play defense and realize that he needs to stay in the game in order for the Knicks to be able to, win some of these series.
Yeah, listen, I try to take a non-biased approach. I know I'm a Knicks fan, diehard through and through, but I have to believe that they're starting to gel at the right time, and that was crucial. I recognize they've been inconsistent. I don't take that away from you, and I know it's one of their biggest critiques. Nevertheless, man, they have been better defensively. They can make their own shot, and when they play in rhythm, and when they're at home, they're a damn hard team to beat. Sure. And so when I look at the New York Knicks right now, momentum's on their side. They've played better. I even think that loss to the Pistons helped them. It made them find their heart and their pride because they got called out. People across the country are like, how can you believe the Knicks if you're getting whomped by the Pistons? The Pistons are pretty damn good, right? And now they're looking at the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Pistons saying, hey, man, our goal is to win this thing. We brought Mike Brown in here to be the difference. Well, right now, we're not playing like that. I thought the loss to the Pistons is giving them a kick in the butt necessary for this time of year. I believe Big Cat, he's going to pull around. I'm worried about Josh Hart's slump. I feel like he's going to figure that out. But nevertheless, man, I think the Knicks are contenders.
Get Deuce McBride back for the playoffs. I think that would help. I'll just say, Tibbs is also a great defensive coach. And they weren't great defensively in the playoffs with him. And
the problem with Tibbs, he burnt them out, man. We didn't have legs. You need legs in the playoffs. The Knicks did not have them.
We got more talent this year. There's way more talent on that roster. You know what I'm saying? I think they can go deeper into the bench. And I think because of that, they'll get over the hump and get to the finals this year.
And Mike Brown's is not afraid to change his rotation, right? Like, he'll mix it up. He doesn't stay stagnant.
All right. Well, again, let's go to a Knicks game.
Anytime. You pay.
I'm saying you pay. You're Willie Colon. You got Knicks hookups. All right, what's the next one on Contender or Pretender?
Are the Spurs contenders or pretenders?
So I am going to say contender. And I am an NBA historian. I know that normally you got to crawl and then walk and then run. And these guys are really young and they haven't won in the postseason. And Michael Jordan had to get there and lose before he could break through. And LeBron had to get there and lose before he could break through. I know my history. But I'm at least open to the possibility that doesn't apply to a 7'7" alien. Like it might just be completely different, and standard NBA rules don't apply to this guy. It might be.
It's going to be different for him. In the playoffs, the game slows down a lot. It's going to get way more physical. The refs allow you to, pull and tug and bump into, in that frame. Is that frame going to be able to last, for a series to get to win it all, And then his team is young. Those guys are, inexperienced. They're going to have to be able to, shoot the three a lot better right now. I don't think they're a really good three-point shooting team. So I think that they're going to have some challenges that they still going to have to overcome, and I just can't see this being the year for them.
Yeah, I say pretenders. I'm not wowed by the Spurs. I think the biggest problem right now, they don't shoot the ball well behind the three-point mark, right? The problem for me, outside of, they don't get a lot from De'Aaron Fox, they don't get a lot from Stephon Castle, and Wemby, honestly, is one of their best shooters, which is a problem for me because I'm a traditional. You know how I am. Yeah. If you're over 7 feet, you belong in the paint. I don't like seeing a 7'6" guy dribble the air out the basketball. He takes way too many threes from me. Yeah. If you're a Wemby, if you want this team to have a shot in the playoffs, you got to get down in the box, big fella. You got to make hay in the paint. I think sometimes if he's not cooking, they fall flat. And when they go against a team that can shoot the rock, and they can't, that's going to be the edge right now. So for me, the youth I agree with, but they're pretenders. I don't.
They're fun to watch.
Oh yeah, they're fun
of course. They're very exciting to watch, but I don't. In the playoffs, I just can't see him pulling it together.
I just don't need to see Wemby look like Magic Johnson at 7'6".
Yeah.
Like I need.
But the game has changed. Like that's how we're old school, right?
And this is a graphic right here to prove that. Like this is against the Knicks. Like 1 for 7. I don't need that. Like, and I don't want to sound like the old man on the porch.
They were losing, so he was trying to bring them back.
But I also know they was a little bit. They was on the road. He had a little fatigue. Yada yada yada. But nevertheless, man, I just need Wemby to be better, man.
It doesn't do anything. They're 2 back in the loss column of the Thunder.
Yeah.
They've whooped the Thunder this year.
Yeah.
They seem to beat all of the good teams that they play.
Right.
Like they seem to put out their best against the best teams.
They're amazing defensively, especially him. Like he's going to get Defensive Player of the Year. The problem with me right now, if you're going to be the elite guy for that team, you got to show up on offensively.
Regular season is different from the postseason. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's a totally different season.
But he is 7'7".
Yeah.
So it might
then play like it.
It might just be different. It might be different.
You need Tim Duncan to come down to the Raptors and come talk to him, man. Give him some.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, that's what.
Have you seen pictures of him next to David Robinson and Tim Duncan? He just towers over.
Right.
They look like guards. We are officially 100 days away from the World Cup kicking off on Fox and FS1. We could not be more excited. So to celebrate, we teamed up with our Fox Sports Digital friends to count down the best all-time World Cup moments, starting today with number 100. You may have heard of him, Messi's 2018 goal against Nigeria. Watch it and take a listen.
This first touch from Messi is insane, and it saved Argentina's 2018 World Cup. Elimination was looming for the Argentines. Stalled by Iceland, crushed by Croatia, even rumors swirled of Sampaoli getting sacked. They had to beat Nigeria. 14 minutes in, Banega drops a perfect ball into space. Messi cushions it with his left, takes one touch to settle the chaos, and fires right-footed rocket into the far corner. Pure control, pure class. Pure Messi. Messi opens the door, Rojo slams it shut. Argentina advances.
Pretty remarkable moment, obviously, for arguably the greatest of all time. Willie, put this into context here. Messi will turn 39 during this World Cup. He's the captain of Argentina. They're the defending champs. You retired at 32.
Yes.
He's about to play in his 6th World Cup, which is a record, at age 39. Pretty remarkable.
And he looks like he could keep going. The problem is I stumbled down the stairs, right, at this age. So I'm sure, but I think we're watching somebody right now, as a guy who loved FIFA soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, forget about it.
He was the cheat code.
He was the cheat code. So this is awesome to see.
It's a pretty remarkable resume, obviously, but this goal, then the stretch of goals that he had, then winning it last time as the captain, it's adding to the GOAT legacy and all of that. But, I mean, if he's the captain of a team that wins back-to-back and he goes out like that, it's just the perfect send-off to the all-time career.
Yeah, you get a tattoo of his face on your back.
Well, I mean, I think
it's
the
GOAT
thing is,
status.
He's so famous and so popular, he might be the most tattooed athlete. You know what I mean? More people have a Messi tattoo.
Wow.
100 days. We're counting it down.